And for the final time in 2025, we are here at NXTGEN Racing. It's the final round of the Mazda MX5 Cup here around the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. It is going to be an absolutely fantastic event. There is no doubt about that. We have got a thrilling championship fight coming your way in the Pro Championships. It is still open in the Pro-Am Championship, but a lot less room to wriggle there at the top of the standings. It is all open in the Pro standings, but it has taken us 8 weeks to get to this point, and it has been a full-on calendar that started all the way back at Monza. 3 safety cars, a red flag. It was hectic, but the drivers soon found their rhythm in a wet Brands Hatch, where we saw some different tyre strategies make for some interesting racing. We then headed across to the dunes of Zandvoort, where we saw a controversial incident for the race lead in the Pro Championships, and it was again an evening full of excellent racing. We then head across to the street circuits of Long Beach, and again, great racing all evening long. It's where Isaac saw one of the worst starts to his evening with a with a visit down pit lane following accident under the safety car. We then went across to Aragon, and Isaac's championship went from bad to worse, caught out in a couple of incidents that meant he didn't get great points all that week. We then went across to Red Bull Ring, and Isaac came back at it along with Mikey Doble, and they scored some excellent points to push themselves towards the top of the championship. Last week at Thruxton, though, that was a falling point for both Mikey Doble and Kieran Sharp, both of them down and quite far on the fringes of the championship fight now. Better weekends for Isaac Doble and for Adam Delmont last week means that championship fight is just 1 point between the two of them. It is going to be a fantastic event here tonight, and like I said, we're here for the final round of asking, and if you haven't caught up with the rest of the championship, this is how the evening ahead of us is going to unfold. Drivers finishing off their practice session now. They've got about quarter of an hour left to go. We'll then go out for qualifying. That'll be 15 minutes long, open qualifying, which means drivers are going to be wanting to get used to each other out there, find the benefits of the drag and pull themselves down and around the MoSport circuit here. The races themselves then. Race number 1 is going to be set at about 15 minutes in length. Race number 2 is also going to be the same in length. However, the grid for race number 2 will find the top 15 from race number 1. It'll invert it, and that will be our grid going into the second race of the day. And for the final race of the day, it's the longest race of the evening, which is a great way to end the championship. It's going to be about 25 minutes of racing action, and that is going to see the whole of the field, reversed and inverted for the grid, as long as drivers are no more than 1 lap down. That is how the inverted grids play out here, and it's going to be another dry evening of racing, albeit a very, very chilly one out there. It has been quite cloudy over the last few weeks. We've seen rain at Thruxton, albeit just a bit of it. We saw a lot of rain, obviously, back at Brands Hatch as well. So it's been a relatively dry season, but not the sunniest. It is very, very cloudy out there right now. I know what you're all waiting for is exactly what I'm going to show you now. It is the championship standings as they stand going into the final round of the season. This is your Pro-Am Championship. It is being led by Alan McCain right now. He has had a very strong season, his weakest result of the season coming all the way back at Zandvoort. It was only 20 points to his name, but you can see how strong he has had of a season. Phil McDougall is currently second in the championship. Now, is a fair way off, 59 points behind, but if you see how many points Matthew Cheverton scored last week, well, it means the championship fight is still open, albeit it is going to be difficult for anyone to knock McCain off of that top spot by the end of the evening. Cheverton himself moved up and nicely into the top three there to Michael Clough. Following last week's round, he's had a couple of pointless events where he's not turned up, so he is doing well to be in there, again on the very edges of the championship fight, and not going to be likely that he'll be able to pull himself to the lead. However, he could find himself still up to second place by the end of the evening. Adrian Fritsch is sitting in fifth right now ahead of William Kurtler. Carl Thompson is seventh ahead of Sam Smith. Smith is the fastest Pro-Am driver out there right now, and he's only sitting 0.6 of a second slower than Adam Delmont, the fastest man in practice. Nigel Stock is sitting in ninth, and it is Mark Hughes who is rounding out the top 10 in the Pro-Am Championship. The Pro Championship is where the fight is at here. Adam Delmont leads the Pro Championship going into this evening by just a singular point. 293 points to his name. Isaac Doble sits in second with 292 points to his name. Kieran Sharp there, as you can see, himself and Mikey Doble having some poor races last time out at Thruxton. They have dropped down the order through points. They are officially still in it, but they are on the outer reaches of the championship fight. That is for certain. Jamie Doy, the first of the drivers who will not be able to win the championship tonight, he sits in fifth ahead of Craig Twardock. Andrew Pike had a great week last week, taking his first win of the season. He sits in seventh ahead of Nick Clibbins and Tom Davidson. And then Ben Oucher sits in 10th. Of course, it is important to talk about the championship fights as they stand, because it's been very, very close all season long, and the stats really, they don't show it full justice, I think, and especially for some of those other drivers. Talking about stats, last week alone in the Pro Championship, it was a new winner in every single race, and I think that's unbelievable. Yes, it's 7 weeks of racing. Okay, you've got 7 events, you've got new race winners, whoop-de-doo. However, actually, if you look at the number of races we've completed, we have completed, before last week, 18 races. That's 18 opportunities for drivers to take a win. And in the 19th, 20th and 21st race of the season, we saw brand new race winners. Tom Davidson winning the first race of the evening. Jamie Dory winning the second race. And Andrew Pike winning the third and final race of last week. Will we see new race winners tonight, or are we going to see those championship duo of Adam Delmont and Isaac Doble find their way to the front once more? Looking at Doble's and Delmont's statistics here, Isaac Doble, he's only won 3 races so far this season. His first win was at Brands Hatch round 2, the third and final race of the day. It then took him all the way until round 4, race number 2, to get his second win of the season. And then it took him all the way until round 6, race number 2, to get a third season. He seems to like even numbered rounds. Round 2, round 4, round 6. Is he going to take another win tonight at round 8? There is certainly that opportunity. On the other hand, in the championship fight, only 3 wins for Isaac Doble, but it is so much more for Adam Delmont. Delmont has won 5 races so far this season. He won 1 in round number 1. He won 1 in round number 2. He didn't win at round 3, but he did win at round 4, and he won twice at round 5. But that is the last time we've seen Delmont take race victory. He didn't manage to win at the Red Bull Ring despite being very, very close to the front. He wasn't able to win at Thruxton, again, being relatively far up. But we've got to remember, race number 1, Delmont and Sharp came together. They went around before the final chicane, and Delmont had to recover from outside the top 20, and he managed to finish in a top 5 by the end of the result, by the end of that race, which is an absolutely incredible result. But across the whole evening, he was not able to take a victory. He's going to be hunting a 6th win tonight. He's going to need it with only that singular point in hand over Isaac Doble. Every single point is going to matter, and Jamie Dory is going to be updating the championship standings after every single race tonight so that we can keep up to date live on stream tonight of who is leading that championship fight and who is going to win both the Pro and the Pro-Am championships. Like I said, over in the Pro-Am championship, McCain is looking strong and healthy, but that Pro championship is completely up and open right now. If you are over watching in the any of the 3 streams over on Facebook, over on YouTube or over on Twitch, make sure you say hello, drop that like, that follow, that subscribe, whatever it is you do on each of those platforms to share the love. And over in the chat right now, it's a good evening to John over on the Twitch, and it is a good evening over to Barry over on the YouTube. Cheering on Zara and Adam there in Type 2. So let's see how they're getting on, actually, because Zara's had an interesting championship herself. She's yet to find it all the way to the front. She's been caught up in a couple of incidents over the course of the season, but she has been slowly finding the pace. And I think that heading into the final round tonight, she might be able to potentially move herself forward and get a few extra points to her name. Adam, he's been doing quite well in the Pro Championship. Of course, he has taken 1 overall win this season. He crossed the line in 2nd in the race. It was the final race at Zandvoort, but due to a penalty for the race winner, he did get promoted into that race win for the final race of the day. So Wilson Weir has done an excellent job. And good evening once again to the Pikes, Roger and Angela, watching over on the YouTube as well. And let's see if Andrew Pike can do something again tonight. He took his first win of the season last week in the 3rd and final race of the day. He's been up there. He has been strong, notably one of his best performances coming at Long Beach. It wasn't able to go his way by the end of the evening, but he did have some really strong pace there. So let's see how he goes around here at the MoSport circuit. We've got just a few minutes left of practice, and as we were going through all of those stats there, I think it's important to cover all of our race winners that have managed to come across the line overall and in class at some point this season. And thinking all the way back to Brands Hatch, we had Delmont, Mikey Doble. Even though he's fallen off the slips of the championship, he is so close to almost getting there. He took that win all the way back at round number 1. But that being said, with Mikey Doble, he took his first win all the way back at round number 1. He didn't take his 2nd win until round 6, where he took the double. Over in the Facebook chat as well, good evening to Lee Horn. Good luck tonight, sir, out on the track. And it's been interesting. Nick Clibbins, he's been strong all season long. He's only been able to get to the victory lane once. Ben Oucher, also looking extremely fast. He's only been able to manage to do that once. Sorry, Clibbins has done it twice, actually. He came back at round 5 after winning in the wet at Donington. I completely forgot he won once again at Aragon. So Clibbins showing that he did have that pace there, and he's able to get it behind him and move forward. Same with Oucher. Oucher was so close to taking a win, taking 2 wins at Thruxton last week, but he spun from the lead in one of those opportunities, and he just wasn't quite close enough in another one of those opportunities. And that's what's really important. It is the consistency. Yes, getting yourself to the front is crucial, but staying there is what really matters by the end of that race. And a lot of drivers can attest to that. We've seen a lot of drivers find their way towards the front, and it just all goes wrong for them once they're there. But where it all begins is qualifying. which is about to start in just a moment's time. Isaac Doble is the man with the most poles this season. He has taken 3 poles. Round 4, round 5, round 7. Adam Delmont only found his first pole position at Red Bull Ring a couple of rounds ago, and he wasn't able to convert that to a race win in any of the 3 races. Who's going to come out on top today? Is it going to be one of our championship contenders, or is someone else going to throw their hat into the mix and make it a bit interesting for us? Let's get down onto the track and find out, because practice is coming to a close within just a minute here, and we will be seeing the drivers in action under their fastest speed possible, which in these Mazdas isn't that fast. However, teammates, as you can see on the screen there, working together all season long in qualifying to find that extra bit of pace. There has been a number of points in which we've seen drivers from separate teams, drivers such as rivals, come together to support each other in getting that toe. Now, I think it is highly unlikely we will see Adam Delmont and Isaac Doble working together in the qualifying session tonight. Adam Delmont was the fastest man in that practice session. He managed to do that by 0.4 of a second. Adam Wilson-Weir is trying to put his hat into the mix there. He's only 14 hundredths of a second behind Isaac Doble at the end of this practice session. And I don't normally do this, but I think we are going to have a look at it now. This is the top 10 from the practice session, and I think it's important to have a look at this before we go into the final qualifying of the season, because these could influence drivers thinking how fast they are there. Championship contenders Adam Delmont, Isaac Doble, they are at the very top of the standings in the practice session. Jamie Dory is on the outer reaches. He's down in 5th. He's the first driver that is not able to win the championship here tonight. Mikey Doble, on the other hand, points-wise, could do it. Kieran Sharp, points-wise, they are both mathematically in the championship here. It's going to be interesting to see how they convert these strong practice results, especially there from the number 37 of Adam Delmont, and put it down into qualifying and see what they're able to do. And as you can see in the bottom end of the screen there, drivers now heading out for their first laps in qualifying. In fact, they're going out on their out laps, of course, and we're going to have a catch-up on them as they come around and head up now. I've got to get my track map out because MoSport is a new circuit for me to be commentating on, and I've driven it a number of times, but corner names, corner numbers, certainly not. We're on the back straight then. Here, known as the Mario Andretti straightaway. Mario Andretti, an absolute legend in both IndyCar and Formula One, of course. And we head up now towards turn number 8, somehow along this straight. It's called a straightaway, there's 2 turns in it. I don't get it. Anyway, we're up towards turn number 8. We are watching Adam Wilson-Weir here. He was the driver just behind the 2 championship contenders in practice. Is he able to do something here in the Type 2 racing machine, the number 4 machine that has seen victory lane once so far this season? 15 minutes was on the clock when they headed out of pit lane, and we head now across the timing line, and we are going to run on board with Adam Wilson-Weir as he goes through turn number 1. Having to lift off slightly there and just take it slightly easier. The throttle and the braking inputs on the bottom aren't always accurate, but we'll hope that they are relatively for us. Pushing it wide then through 2A there, and now into Quebec corner. A driver off wide, but he is diving out of the way, making sure he's not hindering anyone on their qualifying laps. Now, Wilson-Weir is getting a distant tow here from, I believe that might be Lee Horn ahead. So, is getting a good slipstream, not right up to the rear end either, which means that he's not going to be getting held up through the corners as he went through turn 5 there, which apparently is 3 turns. Just name it 5, 6, 7. Why is it 5A, 5B, 5C? Do you know what? I'm going to start ignoring truck numbers like turn numbers on tracks. I'm going to start giving them my own. Who's with me? Shall I just start making up random numbers? Okay, we're coming up towards turn 463, because why not? And pushing out to the outside there. Comes across to the right. A flash of brakes from the driver ahead. Wilson Weir gets through, just lifting off there. Now heavy onto the brakes for turn number 9, and up to White's corner here. Turn 10. It's a longer lap time. It's not a lot of corners, of course. And then we come across the timing line. Delmont goes fastest. Sharp goes second fastest. Horn is in fourth. Wilson Weir boots him. Ben Oucher wanting to get into the mix of this championship right now and put himself towards the front if he can. Delmont will be looking at improving. In fact, he is chasing down. Well, I say chasing down. I believe that is Michael Clough in front of him. It is. Is Clough going to give Delmont a tow here or not? Now, that's not what I wanted. I had set this all up before, but it seems to have unset itself. Let's get this set up, because I think the two drivers that we need to focus on throughout this evening are, of course, going to be Isaac Doble and Adam Delmont. So let's get that sorted there, and you can see the difference between the two of them in this qualifying session. They are the two drivers who are looking to fight for the championship. Delmont had the slipstream from Michael Clough. Clough moved out to the side, which means Delmont did not get the benefit along the Mario Andrade straightaway that he would have hoped for. Into turn 8 now and into the S's. Getting over the curbing on the right-hand side. It's going to switch back to the left. And once again to the right. Try not to kick the rear end out here. Keep it as smooth as possible. Sharp finds time on that previous lap, and we go across the timing line. Is it an improvement for Delmont? It is an improvement for Delmont, but it is not enough. Adam Wilson Weir, I said that huge crash there. Michael Clough, and I think that might have been potentially Andrew Pike there. No, it was Craig Twardock there. Both the drivers getting involved in that one, as Isaac Doble has found the fastest lap time in the session so far. He has gone purple. Gavin Gardner has gone second. Nick Clibbins decides to ignore what I've just said. Alan McCain decides to ignore what I've just said. And a Pro-Am driver finds himself all the way up in second position. It says Adam Delmont 8th. He is, of course, 9th. It looks like it's showing the wrong position. So let's get that sorted out so we can see the overall position and not the class position. There we go. And I'll get that on the other one as well. Perfect. So we can see that 9th position for Delmont right now. Championship rival Isaac Doble out there on his own. But you can see how the teammates are working together here to try and find time. That's how Clibbins got so far up the order. It's how Alan McCain got so far up the order. It is working with teammates. Isaac Doble leading a train that includes Jamie Dory and Gavin Gardner. That's how they found so much time here, and I believe that was potentially Adam Delmont into the wall behind. It was. Now that is a big issue for Delmont, because now he has to find his way all the way back outside again without a time, and he'll be putting on an outlap. Then he's got to find some drivers to work with. That's what's important here. All the drivers towards the front. Ben Oucher is during this train as well. All the drivers at the front are in a train out there right now. Isaac Doble has found a significant amount of time over Adam Delmont. Sam Smith, he is part of that teammate train of drivers. He now goes second fastest, and the Pro-Ams really finding themselves in the mix there as we head through turn number 2 of Clayton Corner and up towards 3 now, as Adam Wilson Weir, he's out there on his own right now, but he's not doing too badly. 6/10 of a second off of pole position. He needs to find some potential support. Zara McGuinness, teammate to Wilson Weir, also out there. Not so much on the on her own. She has got a train, but she's got a bit of a distance ahead of her. She does have Mark Hughes chasing down behind as well. And see Michael Clough in the distance. Adam Delmont here on the way out. He can see that train behind him in Reeves. Is he going to be able to find somebody to work with enough before we get up towards turn number 8? Surely he needs to let this massive train of drivers behind through. He lets one through. He gets on the brakes here. Gavin Gardner's going to have to visit pit lane before he can put in another time. And Mikey Doble goes to the front of the field, yet without a pole position this season. Could Mikey Doble find his first pole? We ride on board now with Adam Delmont, who wanted the support, but it's all just gone away from him. All of the drivers that were there in front of him pretty much have pulled over to the side, had an accident, something has happened. Somehow there is a gathering in front of him that he's managed to scoop up, but that must be really annoying. You've just found a collection of drivers that were going fastest. Sam Smith, Alan McKay, Nick Clibben's teammates that were running together and pushing in really, really good laps. Delmont runs slightly wide there. This is not going to be a great first lap after pitting here for championship contender Adam Delmont. Rival Isaac Doble sits in second right now. Delmont knows what he needs to do, but he needs to find that support as well, and that's the part that is tricky out there that he is really struggling with. He's lost a teammate over the course of this season that may have been able to help him out as they had to step down from the championship. Dory and McCain swap over positions in 6th and 7th. Now we head up towards turn 8. You can see a very distant tow from Delmont here. He will be wanting to get a bit closer to find more time, I'm sure. Can he do that through the S's? And both teammates dive off the circuit. And Delmont's support just continues to go away, and he slams on the brakes. Now he isn't going back down to pit lane. What he is doing is waiting for someone to come and help him out and get a lap time around this circuit. A train somewhere out there. Isaac Doble in a train that includes his brother, includes Dory, includes Ultra. And then I am trying to remember liveries, and I believe that is Lee Horn just behind. It certainly is. So there is a train of 5 drivers here. Could Delmont potentially go relatively slowly and get that support? No, he's looking for the support from Gavin Gardner out there right now. As we watch once more to Isaac Doble looking to try and best his brother here as we come through the final turn, getting a bit of the curbing there. And Isaac Doble will be wanting his 4th pole of the season, not just for the statistic, but more to put himself in the best position possible over his championship rival of Adam Delmont. Of course, Mikey Doble is technically in the points range to take the championship this evening. So is Kieran Sharp. Sharp sitting in 11th position right now. So still beating Delmont, who is leading the championship by that singular point. But this is not a qualifying session that is going Delmont's way right now. Has he managed to find support out there? He has found Gardner, and he is not too far off the rear of Gardner here. This could potentially pull him enough, but of course there's drivers out there that get in trains of 4, 5. Delmont just needs enough to close, what, I would say 0.4 of a second, put himself close to that top 5, and you know that Delmont will be able to pull his way in. Now, I'm not discounting Delmont. Even if Delmont qualified 25th and last in this qualifying session, I'm not discounting Delmont from coming back and winning it. I'm just saying that it's going to be a lot harder for Delmont to do that with his rival all the way up at the very front. Delmont gets very close to Gardner through turn 5A and B. This slipstream is going to help him up towards the back, but how quickly is he going to have to dive out of the tow It looks like it's going to be quite early on yet again for Delmont, and that is where the other trains have the benefit, because they would all be pulling along. No one would have to pull out of the tow really until they cross the timing lines. That looks like it might be Dory backing down into this train. A big slide from Delmont though, through turn number 9 into 10. He is unsettled, but he will come on to his final qualifying lap now. Delmont on his last lap, half a second slower. He's got no one in front of him. If he backs out now, he will not get another lap in, so he is going to have to just keep on pushing around here right now. But Isaac Doble does have that train of drivers. He sits at the back of it. Lehorn moves to the left. Will Mikey get out of Isaac's way as well? Of course, Mikey is potentially in with the championship, but the teammates, the brothers, they've been supporting each other. Mikey dives out the way before turn 8. Could this be a pole position lap time for Isaac Doble? He's going to come up to his white flag lap here in qualifying. Pushes it hard through 9 into turn 10 now. Can we see an improvement on the 31.535 from Mikey? It's a 31.841. It is a slow lap, even with all of the support there. And now he's at the front of this train. I don't believe Isaac Doble will be besting his brother for pole position here. Adam Delmont is getting the push from behind. It looks like he has backed out of it, actually, because he sees those drivers in front of him. This is a risk. Will he get enough time to put in one more qualifying lap? I don't think so. 5 seconds on the board. So what could have been for Delmont will not be, and he dives down pit lane, and championship contender Adam Delmont is in 12th position. Kieran Sharp, he's on the far reaches of the championship fight, but he's just placed it on provisional pole position ahead of Doble. And for Kieran Sharp, it will be a first pole of the season, snatching that away from Mikey Doble at the very end. Alan McCain here. He is leading the Pro-Am Championship. This is second in class. It'd be a strong result, but will he want to come home with more victories in hand? I'm sure he will. Across the line. Not an improvement on that one from Alan McCain, but what a qualifying session it was for so many of the drivers. And it was Kieran Sharp who came out on top of them all at the end of that one. Kieran Sharp will be starting race number 1 of the evening from pole position tonight. The front row of the grid alongside Mikey Doble. It has been a great championship fight as Twadok finds time towards the end there, and Adam Delmont drops to 13th place in this qualifying session. It has not gone the way that I think anyone would have expected for championship leader Adam Delmont, especially as the other 3 drivers, all within points contention of the Pro Championship, are first, second and third. And if you are just joining us here at the end of this qualifying session, these are how the Pro Championship points look going in to the first race of the evening. Adam Delmont, 13th in qualifying. He's leading that championship by just a single point over Isaac Doble. And like I say, Sharp and Mikey Doble are on the outer reaches, but by certainly no means out of the championship. And that pole, the first pole of the season for Kieran Sharp, is exactly what he needed. We are going to get the grid then for the first race of the day, and it is going to be Kieran Sharp out there on pole position for the first time this season. Mikey Doble will start alongside, with that pole being snatched at the very last moment of asking. Isaac Doble will start on the second row of the grid alongside Sam Smith. Great job from the Pro-Am driver working with his teammates to get himself up the order. Ben Oucher will start on the third row of the grid alongside Gavin Gardner. Craig Twardock and Lee Horner on the fourth row ahead of Jamie Dory and Alan McCain. The sixth row of the grid goes to Nick Clibbins and Adam Wilson-Weir. The seventh row will see leading championship driver Adam Delmont sitting alongside Andrew Pike, who took his first win last week. William Kirtler will sit in 15th on the grid ahead of Matthew Cheverton. The 9th row of the grid will go to Nigel Stock and Adrian Fritsch. And the 10th row is going the way of Michael Clough and Mark Hughes. 21st will be Zara McGuinness ahead of Andy Outhouse. Then it's Carl Thompson and Matt Gatter. And at the back of the field will be Harry Gaylor starting in 25th position on the 13th row. It did not go the way at all that Adam Delmont would have been hoping for. But the drivers are preparing themselves for the first race of the day. 10 laps on the board for this one. It'll be about 15 minutes of racing action. The same will be said for race number 2, which we will see the top 15 from this first race inverted. Right, all the drivers are down there on the grid and preparing to get themselves started for the final round of the season, the first race of the day. It will be the 22nd race of Asking. Will we see a new first-time race winner in the pro standings? The highest driver currently sitting on the grid without a race win will be Gavin Gardner, 6th on the grid. Sam Smith starts in 4th. If he was taken overall win, that would be fantastic. Would be his third class win as well. Right, 10 minutes on the board. We prepare to head ourselves off of the grid here for the first race of the day. We are off and we are green for 10 laps of racing action here around the MoSport circuit. Not a great start for Andrew Pike, who has got a jump start and will have to visit pit lane at the end of this lap. But it is a smooth start for Kieran Sharp. The Doble brothers saddling themselves down nicely behind, and for the most part, we see them settle in single file as they head up towards turn number 3. This is where the first side-by-side action comes in, and it's Lee Horn on the inside of Jamie Dory. They're fighting out for 8th position, but here comes Mikey Doble looking to try and take the lead of this race. Has to back out of it, and Ben Oucher stuck on the outside of Sam Smith, who is trying to defend his 4th position in this race. They exit turn number 5, and they are still side by side. That was Zara McGuinness, who's gone around in the background on the exit of turn 5. Still side by side here from Oucher and Sam Smith. And now Isaac Doble goes to overtake his brother. Tucks straight back behind again. Smith to the inside of Oucher here as we head in to turn number 8. It is going to help Smith on the early part of the corner. It's going to switch back to Oucher's, but again through the final turn it'll turn back once more. There was a little bit of a nudge there. There's another nudge, and Oucher's out wide, and here comes Gavin Gardner to make the overtake, and that is Craig Twardock looking to get through up towards turn number 1 as well. But the first lap of Asking is done, and Kieran Sharp continues to lead the way over the Doble brothers. Ben Oucher trying to sell himself back into a position here. It could potentially go 3 wide as Jamie Dory tries to get himself involved in this fight. Adam Delmont has only managed to work himself up to 11th position, scratch that, let's say 10th position, as he gets up the inside of Alan McCain through turn number 3. But he is going to need to find more speed out there if he wants to move further up the order with his championship rival sat in 2nd right now as we come out of turn number 5, and all of them running in that line. Matthew Cheverton has gone around the same way we saw Zara McGuinness go around last lap. There is some front-end damage to Sheraton, though, so potentially some contact. Isaac Doble has moved through for the lead of this race, but Kieran Sharp is going to hold it on the inside, but Doble's got the overlap, and through turn number 9, Isaac Doble takes the lead of this race. Great for his championship. Delmont has worked his way up to 9th, Kieran Sharp down a 2nd, and Andrew Pike has now jumped down pit lane to serve his penalty. Sam Smith has held on to 4th in this race and has gone purple on the 2nd lap of asking, which is brilliant for the Pro-Am race leader. Up towards turn number 3 now, and Mikey Doble is looking to dispatch Kieran Sharp, especially as Mikey Doble and Kieran Sharp could potentially change around championship points depending on how the races go. So Mikey will be wanting to make that overtake now as he head in towards turn number 5, getting onto the brakes there and away out of turn number 5. Again, all single file, looking for the support from the drivers in front of them and the drivers behind them. A bit of a gap opening up between Kieran Sharp and Mikey Doble there, as that is Gavin Gardner looking to try and get past the Pro-Am leader of Sam Smith, and Kieran Sharp looks back to try and regain the lead of this race. He looked to the outside into turn number 8. That wouldn't have turned into anything as they appear from behind the trees. They are once again single file for now as we go on to the 4th lap of the evening. Let's jump back and have a look at Adam Delmont, because he is very much in this train of drivers, currently behind Jamie Dory, as Delmont takes the purple lap with him, as well as that is Gardner. No, that's Oucher looking to get past Twadok on the exit of turn number 1. How is Delmont going to be able to dispatch the drivers in front of him here? Because he's going to want to move up the order if he potentially can, so that he can get back up to championship rival Isaac Doble. He looks to the inside here. Well, it's the outside of turn number 3, but it will turn to the inside. He does have his wheel in. Will Delmont fight him hard here as they go up towards turn number 5? Sorry, Dory fight Delmont hard. Yes, he is trying his hardest to keep it on that inside line. They give each other enough room here. Delmont is going to get the speed on the exit, and he is going to get the overlap here. Adam Delmont past Jamie Dory. Is he able to tuck back in to the Slipstream drivers in front? No, he isn't. Therefore, Dory is now getting that support up towards the end of the lap, as again here goes Sharp to the lead, but it could potentially turn into Mikey Doble looking to his inside. They are side by side, and it is going to be Kieran Sharp through turn 8. Sharp returns to the lead of this race. Great news for Delmont, as Kieran Sharp leads the 4th lap of asking, ahead of Isaac and Mikey Doble. Sam Smith is still on the outer reaches here. Could take an oval race win if he sticks it there, but he's been doing so nicely. Jamie Dory and Adam Delmont have dropped off the drivers ahead here, which is not going to help championship leader of Adam Delmont. What is Delmont going to be able to do here up towards turn number 3? He looks up the inside of Jamie Dory. He puts his car in there. Dory is looking to try and hold on the outside. He's on the grass, and Delmont is going to be thanking the lucky stars for that one, because it means Dory is no longer a problem of his, and he can get onto the rear end of Ben Oucher. Oh, what's happened here to Sam Smith? He's down pit lane. What has happened here? It's contact. It's contact with Gavin Gardner. For Sam Smith, who was on the edges of the podium. For Delmont, that means he's up to 6th. Ben Oucher here looking potentially to get past Twadok. No, he pushes. Delmont, though, under huge amounts of pressure from behind. Is he going to get help from Lee Horn to catch the leading 5 drivers here. As we come through the final 2 turns, we are now halfway through the first race of the evening. Kieran Sharp continues to lead the way. He lost out that lead for a couple of laps, but he's regained where he was at the start of the race. Doble holds on to second ahead of his brother Mikey Doble. Isaac needs that for the championship. Twardock and Oucher are 2 drivers separating Delmont from those championship contenders at the very front of this field, but there is also a second gap that Delmont needs to close. Delmont is putting in purple lap times right now to catch up, and it looks like McGuinness has gone around as well. Potential contact there. Let's see what's happened. Is it contact with Cheverton? Ew. That's an interesting one. As Pike down pit lane now after getting a penalty off the front of the start of this race has received a meatball flag. Big slide from the 57 of Andrew Pike ahead of McGuinness. Oh, that almost looks like, I mean, I don't want to say intentional, but it certainly looks like Zara there moves to the right-hand side and just goes into Cheverton. Anyway, back to the race lead here because Isaac Doble regains past Kieran Sharp. That's where all the overtakes for the race lead have happened so far this race. It has been along the Mario Andretti straightaway into turn number 8. It was a slide from Sharp, but he holds it. And here comes Mikey Doble looking to try and take advantage of Sharp being a bit slidey through the final few corners. And Mikey Doble and Kieran Sharp run side by side into turn number 2. Sharp holds on ahead, and that was Twardock going right to the rear end, but having to back out of it has invited Oucher into it. And look who is just behind. Adam Delmont. 13th position was not a great qualifying for Adam Delmont, but I said even if he started in 25th, Adam Delmont would find his way towards the front and potentially go for a race win. Could he do it from 13th on the grid? A bit closer than I predicted, but let's find out. He has got to get past Oucher and Twardock here to catch that front fight for the podium. All the drivers in the top 3 are within points contention of the championship, but it is race leader Isaac Doble who is just a point behind Delmont right now, which means Delmont is going to need to minimise everything he can in this race. He needs to get past Oucher and Twardock, even if he just sits in 4th by the end of this race. As we come up to 3 to go, Mikey Doble takes the race overtake line as that's a slide from Oucher. He keeps out the way and Delmont goes through up to 5th position. Doble has gone through up to 2nd as well, and Isaac Doble and Mikey Doble lead the way here around MoSport as we go on to the 8th lap of asking. 3 to go. Kieran Sharp all over the rear end of Mikey there, looking to try and get back up into 2nd position. It won't work out there. Driver coming out of pit lane, I believe, is Andrew Pike. Will obviously be staying out of the way of the lead lap drivers that were coming through there. Now, it looks like Delmont is going to push hard to get past Craig Twardock. He's going to hopefully do that for himself by the end of this lap, because if he's able to get through into 4th, he can catch up to the podium and fight on the last lap or 2 of this race. Delmont goes to the outside of Twardock there. Twardock doing a great line, pushing Delmont slightly off the circuit there. Delmont gets back across, we get that slipstream. Mikey Doble weaving his way along the Mario Andretti straightaway, trying to break the toe here of Kieran Sharp, prevent Sharp from going on that overtake up towards turn number 8. Will it have worked out as we go up towards turn number 8? Sharp is able to get on the outside. Is he able to carry the speed? Yes, he is. Kieran Sharp removes back into 2nd position. Mikey Doble back down to 3rd. Adam Delmont was not able to dispatch Twardock there as Sharp and Doble go to the right-hand side of the circuit. Doble to the inside. They are side by side for 2nd position. but Kieran Sharp holds it right now. This is the view from Adam Dalmont as here comes Twadok to go up the inside of Mikey Doble. Dalmont is going to try and follow through. No, he backs out of it. Knows the inside line is going to be quicker. Switches across. Gets past Twadok. Can he go for the moon on Mikey Doble? It could be a move for a podium here from Adam Dalmont. They run side by side up to turn 5. Dalmont backs out of it. He's still got Twadok there, but he goes to the inside. It's a nudge. Doble gets together with Dalmont. It's a side, and Mikey Doble, championship contender, even if on the far reaches, goes around, all starting with contact with Adam Dalmont, who ran deep. Let's just catch that once more here. No, it was contact with... No, that's happened afterwards, hasn't it? That has happened afterwards. Let's see if we can catch another view on that one. Here we go. How has that happened from the sky here? Dalmont's gone. He's swerved out the way to avoid contact with Twadok. He goes deep, catches the curve, contact with Doble, and then it's just a whole checkered thing behind, isn't it? That is a late dive from Dalmont, though. Is a very late dive from Adam Dalmont. We go on to the white flag lap. Dalmont in 5th, but it is Isaac Doble leading. Can Kieran Sharp find his way through here with this result as well? Mikey Doble will no longer be in points contention for the championship. You can count him out. I'll have to work it out for Kieran Sharp at the end of this race. If he's able to take the win here, potentially could still be within points championship contention, but he does need poor results from Doble and Dalmont moving forwards. Right, we go up towards turn number 5. In the battle for the race lead, can Dalmont dispatch Dorian Twadok to the end of this one? Sharp all over the rear of Isaac Doble here as we head along the Mario Andretti straightaway for the final time of asking in race number 1. Kieran Sharp pushing behind here. Is he going to go to the outside? That has been the overtake for the lead every time so far. This could work out well for Sharp. You can carry the speed on the outside. Sharp and Doble run side by side. It's a fight for the lead into turn number 8. Through turn 9 into 10, but Isaac Doble holds it. Isaac Doble is going to drag race to the line, but take the win. It's a drag race to the line behind, and Dalmont just misses out. No, he doesn't. He gets it to Dory. Adam Dalmont will take 4th position. Every point needed in this one. Every single point. Let's have a look then with drivers coming across the line at the final results in that one. Not the race that Mikey Doble would have wanted, but a win for Isaac Doble and what will be a 4th win of the season. And Alan McCain is going to confirm his championship in race number 1 of the evening with his 4th class win. Alan McCain is your Pro-Am champion this season, but the Pro Championship is still open going into the next 2 races. Right, it's time to have a look at the race results from the first race of the evening, and a win from championship contender Isaac Doble. Kieran Sharp came home 0.03 of a second behind in 2nd place. Craig Twadok held on to 3rd, just ahead of Dalmont, who beat out Dory to the line. Outra came home 6th, ahead of Lee Horn. Alan McCain won in class, came home 8th overall, ahead of Nick Clibbins and Gavin Gardner. We then saw William Kirtler in 11th, ahead of Adrian Fritsch. Adam Wilson-Weir came home 12th, ahead of Carl Thompson. Sorry, Adrian Fitz came home 12th. Adam Wilson-Weir came home 13th out of Carl Thompson. Then it was Nigel Stocking, Harry Gaylor. Mikey Doble came home in the end in 17th. Will not be in the invert. He was less than 1/10 of a second away from an inverted grid pole, but that inverted grid pole will go the way of Nigel Stock. Matt Gatter came home in 18th out of Michael Clough. Andy Outhouse in 20th place out of Matthew Cheverton. Andrew Pike came home in 22nd out of Mark Hughes. Sam Smith in 24 and Zara McGuinness in 25th. Both those drivers down and out. And no safety car today either. No safety car at the end of this first race of the evening. We've still got 2 more to go though. Let's see if we can get our hands onto that. I shouldn't have said it like that, should I? Let's see if we can pull a couple of our contenders in after that one. And I'm almost afraid to pull him in here because it wasn't the best way to end his championship fights, and it all came down to the end there. But Mikey, it could have been a race to remember. I think it became a race to forget.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but I was only really out here to try and help out my teammate tonight and brother Isaac. So I guess it was a successful race from that perspective. And now the reverse grid is upon us, so they'll be starting just a few positions ahead of me. So if I can do anything to help out again, but yeah, obviously it wasn't the result I wanted. Just succumbed to a bit of a missed braking point there from Adam, and it kind of sent us both wide into the corner, and then trying to rejoin the traffic coming back in, it just resulted in a bit of chaos.
I say that helping out your teammate and your brother Isaac there. He got the win. It will put him into the lead of the championship. Is your goal shifted this evening then to just support Isaac all the way through this evening, try to get him that championship?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, he's I don't think he's won a championship before within NXTGEN, so it'd be nice for him to get his championship. And I'm way too far back coming into the evening to have a realistic shot at the title myself. So I may as well obviously make myself useful and be the team player.
All right, thank you, Mikey. Hopefully it goes Isaac's way, and we'll hopefully catch up with you at the end of the evening as well.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Enjoy.
Mikey Doble there. Not the result he would have wanted for himself, but he said supporting his brother Isaac in the fight for the championship lead. And that's exactly the way that you would have wanted to start at Isaac. A win to your name and Adam down in 4th.
Yeah, it couldn't have gone much better really in that race, apart from maybe a fastest lap points or something. But it was a very close race out there and good fun.
Reverse grid for race number 2 then. It means that you'll be starting in 15th, Delmont ahead this time. Of course, you're going to have Mikey just behind you. How are you going to be approaching this second race?
Yeah, I'll try and take my time to get through, try not to do anything stupid, because the last thing I want is a DNF and 0 points to my name. So I'll just pick my way through and see how high up I can get.
Well, a win is a good way to start the evening. Do you feel like your hopes are high then going into the next 2 races for this championship fight?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I can probably win it if I keep it clean and just let my pace show where I can get up to.
Well, out of that first race then, you are now 5 points ahead of Adam in the championship after trailing by 1. So it's turned in your favour. So good luck for the next race. I'm sure we'll be catching you again at the end of race 2.
Yeah, thank you.
Isaac Doble there, coming home for the victory. And the last driver that we are going to talk to after race number 1, of course, is going to be the man who qualified all the way down in 13th position. It almost wasn't your race to be, but you were covered up into a top 5 result with a couple of incidents on the way. But it does mean that you are only trailing Isaac by 5 points going into race number 2.
Sorry, I was muted then. Good evening, Joe. Yeah, we left a bit high and dry in qualifying, to be fair, and every time I lined up to try and get a lap, somebody would pull off in pits or pull over, so yeah, couldn't get a lap in, so I had to push forward, obviously. Race were pretty clean, and I mean, there was obviously, it got a little bit tight coming into the double right-hander, the tight one, with Mikey. Craig just came off the apex a little bit on the left kink, which spooked me because it looked like he was going to hit me, so I had to swerve right a little bit. And in that split second of him doing that, obviously then there's a braking zone for the right-hander. So I threw it right and hauled it, hauled it really up so Mikey could still go around the outside of me if he chose to. Because in practice last night, we were managing to get through there to a side quite regularly. So it can be done. But yeah, I hauled it up a little bit too much, giving Mikey the room. Where if I'd have known that I'd have already cleared Mikey and just opened it out a bit, I don't think it'd have backed up as much. But yeah, I got away with that one because there wasn't really any hit between us. It was just a bit what it could have at the time considered a send, but it obviously wasn't. It was just me getting, confused with what somebody else were doing and made me just narrowly miss my braking point to have followed Mikey in, because the plan was to follow him in, but that split second changed all that, and it was a case of right, I've got to go right, otherwise I'm going to hit him.
Well, race number 2 then, you will be starting ahead of Isaac with the reversed grid. You're only 5 points behind. It swapped over once this evening. Do you feel like it's going to swap back in your favour after race 2?
Yeah, well, I've got every advantage. My pace is quick round here, so it's there. So it'd be best man will win, mate. And we've had mega season. There's been some brilliant racing, and whoever wins tonight, is a deserved champion. And it's been fun and respectful, and yeah, it's been a blast.
Right, well, good luck in race number 2, Adam. I'm sure we'll catch up with you again at the end of that one.
Cheers, buddy.
And there you go. We are going to go across to a very quick break. When we return, we will update you on the championship standings, and then we will have race number 2. So don't go anywhere, because we've still got a lot more racing coming your way. as we head into the second race of the evening. Let's have a look at how the championship standings line up here after the first race of the evening, and your pro championship fight is still all to play for. Out of contention will be Mikey Doble at this point. He will not be able to win the championship now. He was on the far reaches anyway. Kieran Sharp mathematically is still there. He has closed up to Delmont and to Doble. However, it is not going to be enough right now to take that championship. The championship itself has gone the way of Isaac Doble after the first of 3 races tonight. He now leads by 5 points, and you can hear in the voices the optimism of Isaac Doble. It wasn't quite the same for Adam Delmont, but he knows he is in a strong position for race 2. He says his advantage is in his hand. He's got good pace here, and he's starting ahead down there on the field. Across in the Pro-Am Championship, as I said, Alan McCain, with that win there in the first race of the day, has now taken the Pro-Am Championship. So well done to Alan McCain, who isn't around for me to pull in, and that's why I wasn't able to have a chat with Alan McCain at the end of race number 1. But it is a championship victory for McCain in the Pro-Am standings. That Pro standings, though, still very much open and up for grabs here as we head into the second race of the evening. The top 15 are going to be inverted here, which means that drivers are going to have to find their way from down the order. Now, Delmont's already done that once tonight. He started race number 1 on 13th on the grid and moved his way all the way up to a top 5 result. Now, if you're watching either on the Facebook, the YouTube, or the Twitch, make sure you hit the follow, the subscribe, the like, the share, whatever buttons there are, click them, because we want to make sure that you are showing your love for us, and we are also sharing these amazing broadcasts for more people to come in and watch as well. The racing tonight has been just as amazing as it has been all season long, and just because this is the last Next Gen event of the year does not mean there isn't huge stuff on the horizon. Of course, more leagues coming our way in 2026 as well, so make sure you are getting subscribed and followed and liked and all that stuff so you're notified when Next Gen go live and you can see all of the amazing racing that there is to offer. Drivers then are about to head down onto the grid for the second race of the day. It's the same length as race 1, so 10 more laps coming your way. The top 15 inverted. Race number 3 is going to be coming after that. About 25 minutes of racing action in that final race with the full grid inverted. Who is going to lead the championship going into the last race of the day? Is Isaac going to be able to hold on to that championship lead that he's gained after race 1? Is Delmont going to be able to move himself back into the lead with a higher starting position in this second race of the day? Let's get down onto the grid then, so we can actually have a look at the grid for this one. So it is going to be starting on pole position this time. Nigel Stock will start on the very front of the grid. Alongside him will be Carl Thompson. The second row of the grid is going to go the way of previous race winner Adam Wilson-Weir. Adrian Fritsch is running in 4th position for the start of this one, ahead of William Kurtler and Gavin Gardner. 7th position is going to go the way of Nick Clibbins with Lee Horn in 8th. Ben Oucher will start in 9th, ahead of Jamie Dory. Championship contender Adam Delmont in 11th, ahead of Craig Twardock in 12th position. 13th position the way of Kieran Sharp, also fighting on the far reaches for the championship with Isaac Doble starting in 14th. So it looks like there has been one driver drop out in the top 15, which means our pole man, race 1 winner will be starting in 14th, not 15th here. Harry Gaylor will start in 15th, and Mikey Doble starting directly behind his brother. Matt Gatter will start in 17th, with Michael Clough in 18th position as I hit the wrong button. Andy Outhouse will start in 19th. Adam Matthew Cheverton, Andrew Pike from 21st, Adam Mark Hughes, Sam Smith, and Zara McGuinness. Race number 2 then, like I say, it is going to be another race of 10 laps. And those 10 laps absolutely flew by. If you're watching over in any of the chats, make sure you say hello. And catching on here, we got Seabass and Elwin over there on the YouTube. Welcome in to watching, and I hope you are having a good evening watching the Next Gen Racing's Mazda MX Cup final here. Championship decider. 10 laps on the board for the second race of the evening. As who is going to be able to win this one? The lights are going to be up and our drivers are going to prepare themselves away. Nigel Stock away from that pole position at the very front. Everyone gets away without incident up towards turn number 1, and they're settling themselves down at the very front, but a battle for third between Adrian Fritsch and Carl Thompson there, as well as Adam Wilson-Weir has already managed to move his way to the very front of the field. Gavin Gardner looking to cut his way through the field as well off the line and move up the order, but Wilson-Weir getting a very good start and leads the way. Can he get his second win of the season? The first time he'll win across the line and not due to post-race penalties if he is able to do that. It is toot by toot by two as we Noah's arc it up towards turn number 5. They disappear behind the trees. And it is going to be it is going to be Gavin Gardner up the inside of Carl Thompson there. They're fighting out for 4th. They've got Nick Clibbins just behind, as well as Delmont remains in 11th. Doble 14th and 15th. They've not moved anywhere off the start of this one either as we head along the Mario Andretti straight away and up towards turn number 8. It is about 3 wide behind as drivers settle themselves down 2 by 2 once more into the S's now. Driver just trying to figure out where he can go. That white and green car of Adam Delmont. You've got Isaac Doble is the Doble brother ahead of the other one. There's a bit of contact with Oucher. Goes into the back of William Kirtler there as they head up towards the final turn, and this is Isaac Doble now looking to try and get to the inside of Kieran Sharp as Oucher and Delmont are side by side in turn number 1, and Isaac Doble looking to potentially take the move on Delmont here, and that's going to be crucial in the championship if they are to swap positions now. But Isaac does follow through. Oucher leaving that extra bit of space on the inside, but is going for it to stay on the racing line through turn number 3. And that's a car off, and Nick Clibbins off there. Gets out of the way just in time for the chasing field behind to move past as we now head up towards turn number 5 once more. As Delmont is through Oucher, Craig Twardock and Kieran Sharp swap positions. Mikey Doble not able to climb up the order with his brother here and help in the same way that he would have been hoping to. This is what happened to Clibbins. He just runs wide at turn 3 and really tries his best to keep it out of the way and not get in front of anyone with that, and that's exactly what he does. Adam Delmont now getting past William Kirtler as we head up towards turn number 8. Oucher follows through as well, as we will now get, hopefully, our timing tower up. Occasionally we get issues with that one as we come up towards the third lap of asking. Here we go. We can see Adam Wilson-Weir leading by a good 0.8 of a second right now over Nigel Stock. You can see that lead as they go in towards turn number 1. Delmont gets the purple lap that time around and has got a couple of positions over Isaac Doble. A huge slide for Oucher, and that is Michael Clough and Craig Twardock off in the background as well. No, it was Michael Clough who made a big impact with the wall through turn 1. This is how that occurred. Just lost it on the rear end over the grass by the looks of it, and a big slam into the wall for him. Right, back up towards that fight at the front though, and it is side by side once more. Gavin Gardner up the inside of Carl Thompson. Lee Horn tries to follow through as Thompson gets his way back out onto the circuit. Horn is side by side getting pushed by Delmont and Dory here. Dory still looking to try and get through and get up, as well as championship contender Delmont. Isaac Doble is looking to get past William Kirtler behind. Looks like he's managed to do that, and Delmont has dispatched Thompson as well. So Doble has made his way past Thompson, but has made his way past Kirtler, sorry, but still needs his way past Thompson to catch up to Adam Delmont. Into the final couple of turns now, as drivers are all moving back up the order. Delmont right now 2 positions greater than Doble, and that really does matter. It is going to have an impact on the championship. Meatball flags for Michael Clough and Zara McGuinness. Her evening has gone from bad to worse as we go into the second race of the day. Through turn number 2 now, as we watch Delmont continue on behind Jamie Dory in their fight. You've got Mikey Doble looking to get up the inside of William Kirtler now as they go through turn number 3. Kieran Sharp looking to follow through as well, and with this result from Sharp is looking that he's mathematically still within the championship, even if not realistically still within the championship, but this would count him out, this result right now. Dory on the outside of Lee Horn there, wasn't able to make that move, and Delmont just behind as they get out of turn number 5 and on to the Mario Andretti straightaway. Slipstream from all of them as we head up towards turn number 8, and Dory already pulling out of slipstream of Lee Horn here. What is Delmont going to do? He's going to push Dory here to the outside, try to get the 2 cars in front of him side by side. Where is he now going to slide? Try to potentially fit it in behind Dory. It looks like an opportunity is opening. Lee Horn goes a bit wide. Delmont now to the outside in the final turn. Is side by side between Horn and Delmont as they cross the line, and Delmont moves up to 6. Jamie Dory looks to the inside of Adrian Fritsch as he gets the purple lap and now sits behind his teammate of Gavin Gardner. 4th position right now. Gavin Gardner 3rd position as we go into turn number 2. All of the different racing lines being run. Isaac Doble is up in 8th right now, so he's also making his way through the pack. Sits behind Lee Horn as it stands. Nigel Stock and Gavin Gardner are side by side. Jamie Dory wanting to also do something about that there as Adrian Fritsch appears just behind as well, and that is going to be Jamie Dory onto the grass. Is he going to get it back on and slow down? Yes, he is. Doesn't get in to Isaac Doble, which was a potential of happening there, and Doble now up to 7th, looking to get past Lee Horn up into 6th position as well, and it will be Adam Delmont, the driver, directly in front of him if he is able to get past Horn, as Dory is pushing Doble here up towards turn number 8. Isaac Doble sits directly behind championship rival now of Adam Delmont, side by side between Fritsch and Stock as they fight it out for the Pro-Am race lead. It's the inside to Fritsch. Will he be able to stick it there or through the final turn? No, it swaps back to Stocks, but Stock goes around, tagged by Delmont, but there was nowhere that Adam Delmont could have gone with that one, but because of the contact, it has dropped Adam Delmont behind Isaac Doble, who is now side by side with Jamie Dory. So Doble moves back past Adam Delmont right now. But Dory holds them both behind. There's contact in the background. That was Mikey Doble shoving Carl Thompson off the racing surface as they came through turn number 2. Dory holding the championship contenders behind him right now. Fritsch currently leading class in Pro-Ams. If he's able to do this, he's got a huge amount of cars between himself and the next Pro-Ams. It would be his first class win of the season. Adam Delmont chasing down Isaac Doble now. He really needs to get past, even if he only finishes the 1 position ahead of Isaac here. He really needs to make this overtake work. before the end of this race and move past what is now the championship leader with just 1.5 races remaining in this season. We head up towards turn number 8. How defensive is Delmont and Fritsch going to go? Of course, Doble and Delmont are fighting out for the championship here. Doesn't mean Dory has to let them through. It doesn't mean Fritsch has to let them through. The drivers are running together here as well, so you'll only see anything sort of just make it a bit easier. If one has gone through, they'll both go through. Delmont looked to the outside of Doble there, wasn't able to turn into an overtake. Switches back across. It'll be the outside of turn 2. If he could keep it there, it turns to the inside of 3. He backs out, goes for the speed on the exit rather than trying to hang it around the outside there. It's side by side between Dory and Fritsch up ahead again, and that's a slam on the brakes from Fritsch. Delmont dies to the inside as Isaac had to slow down a bit extra with Fritsch there. Oucher pushes Doble on the inside. Dory finds his way to the inside as well as they appear through turn 5. Delmont's to the outside of Fritsch. Is Fritsch going to fight this hard here? Because Delmont is fighting for the championship. No, Fritsch lets him go. Delmont and Doble, they are fighting it out hard here as they continue to come around. As I'm trying to get the intervals between you, there you go. It is 0.3 of a second. Delmont following behind here as he sees Isaac Doble go up the inside of Jamie Dory for 3rd position. Dory is going to stay on the inside of Delmont. How is this going to work out? A slide from behind from Oucher. Was he collected there? I don't think he was, no. But here comes Delmont. Dory allowed Delmont through. Delmont out to the outside of Doble. Why does everyone start with a D? I'm getting so confused. As Jamie Dory is behind here. Under attack, Jamie Dory from Kieran Sharp. Dory looking to go back on Delmont, but I think that's just because he's trying to hold his position on Sharp here. Delmont looks to the inside of Isaac Doble. Couldn't quite make that inside line work there, but they're fighting it out. We've got 2.5 laps left to go. Delmont is going to desperately want the position over Isaac Doble here. He goes to the inside. It'll switch across to the outside into turn number 5. But they stay side by side through 5A. Still side by side through 5B. It's a slightly wider line from Delmont there, but no toe from anyone ahead. Means that these drivers are going to run side by side. Are either of them going to get the push behind? That is Mikey Doble now, looking to try and help out his brother. Jamie Dory pushes Isaac as well. Delmont stuck to the outside line here. As we come through, Delmont does hold on to 4th position behind Isaac Doble into the final turn. 2 more laps to go. The purple is currently going the way of Jamie Dory, so no bonus points on offer for the championship leaders right now. 2 laps to go. The fight between Wilson Weir and Gardner going on hard in front as Delmont goes to the outside of Doble again. Wilson Weir hunting down his 2nd win of the season. Gardner hunting down his 1st win of the season. We can see that fight happening out at front as we watch this fight for 3rd in the race. It's the fight for the championship. Doble leading Delmont right now as Adam Wilson Weir and Gavin Gardner go side by side. Wilson Weir holds it, and Delmont once again to the inside of Isaac Doble. Gets a good amount of overlap into 5A this time though. 5B once again goes the way of Isaac. Is Isaac going to get the push from Jamie Dory once more? He is, but has Delmont got the overlap? No, just about not. And Jamie Dory is once again pushing Isaac Doble, and that has given Doble significantly. Delmont now also behind Dory. as Adam Wilson-Weir and Gardner continue to fight. Delmont's got the speed to carry on the outside of Jamie Dory here, but he is not going to be happy that Dory keeps on pushing Isaac Doble. Because Dory keeps on pushing Doble, Delmont is not able to get that overtake complete. If Dory pushed Delmont instead, Delmont would be second right now, and will be third right now, sorry, and not Doble. This is the white flag of asking, though. Wilson-Weir leads the race, looking for his second win. Gavin Gardner trying to take that off of him here as they run side by side up front. We'll ride on board with Delmont once again in fourth position. Behind Isaac Doble, we can see the fight for the lead going on ahead as well. And again, Delmont goes to the outside for turn 5. And this time it's Mikey Doble behind. You know exactly who Mikey's going to push. And Isaac and Delmont are off the circuit. Delmont has to recover, but Isaac's just gained about 4 or 5 positions. Isaac Doble forcing Adam Delmont off the track. He's going to take a huge advantage here. He's taken a massive advantage because Adam Delmont is down to 10th. Isaac Doble may have confirmed the championship from contact with Delmont sliding. He falls more positions. And he's out. Adam Delmont, he's out. He quits. He's done. After contact with Isaac Doble, Isaac Doble will win this championship. He finishes 4th in this race behind Jamie Dory. Adam Wilson-Weir wins the race, but Adam Delmont quits. He takes no points in race 2. And I can almost guarantee we won't see him in the 3rd and final race. We have to watch that instant again. Here it is. The instant that may have just decided the championship. Isaac Doble to the inside of Adam Delmont. We come through 5A. Isaac slides. Was there contact there? I don't know going into that corner. But he slides, forces Delmont off the circuit. And Isaac just keeps the position. Delmont down 5 positions before turn 8 even came around. Was there contact there? Can we see a different angle? Was there contact between the two? Yes. There was a slight nudge, but... oh, that's going to be a talking point for the championship, isn't it? That is going to be a talking point for the championship. But let's not take anything else away from a second win of the season for Adam Wilson-Weir. And with that, let's have a look at the race results for race number 2. Adam Wilson-Weir wins the race for his 2nd time this season. The first time he will cross the line, the winner on track. Excellent job from Adam there. Gavin Gardner came home in 2nd ahead of Jamie Dory. Isaac Doble took home 4th in what would be the championship ahead of Mikey Doble. Kieran Sharp came home 6th ahead of Craig Twardock. And Adrian Fritsch, for the first time this season, wins the Pro-Am category. And that's the first new winner since race 2 at round 6 in the Pro-Am field. Harry Gaylor took home 2nd in class ahead of Andrew Pike. 11th went the way of Matthew Cheverton ahead of Lee Horn in 12th. Nick Clibbins in 13th. Matt Gatter in 14th position ahead of William Kirtler. Nigel Stock took home 16th ahead of Carl Thompson. Mark Hughes in 18th. Sam Smith taking home 19th and Michael Clough in 20th position. 21st went the way of Adam Delmont, down and out on the last corner. Zara McGuinness down. Andy Outhouse all down a lap. Ben Archer 2 laps down at the end and finished up the field. Right. I'm looking here and yes, As expected, we're not going to have a word with Adam Delmont. He has disappeared here. And I going to see. I am going to pull across here. Gavin Gardner coming home second, almost took a win here. Gavin, it was a close fight out front, but it wasn't quite to be.
Yeah, hey there. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. That was a quite fun race. Enjoyable. Trying to catch up with Adam there, but yeah, just didn't quite have it at the end.
It's closest you've been out that front to that race win. It's but as I say, it's been a really good fight all evening long. How are you feeling about race number 3? Because with such a good result in race 2, you're going to find yourself all the way to the back now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think just hope to have a bit of fun with this one. You know, I've been on and off with these cars all season, so yeah, it'd be nice to finish off with a good one and finish the third race, which has been a weakness of mine this season, admittedly. Yeah, let's just see how things go and yeah, hope for some fun racing.
Well, it has, as you say, it's been a very fun season, and it's been quite a nice way to end as well here at MoSport. And good luck for race number 3, trying to come up from the back of the field and seeing what you can do.
Brilliant, thank you. Cheers.
Gavin Gardner there, coming home second in that race, a great result. And with that one coming out of it, I am going to put across Isaac Doble here. Now, I think it goes without saying, we'll just have to quickly touch on what happened there on the last lap. We were looking at the replays. It looks like there may have been some minor contact just before Delmont went off. How did you see that one?
Yeah, well, we were side by side going up into those 2 tight corners, and he just tagged me going into the second part, which made my car go loose, and then because of the tap, I bounced off the curb. I didn't really have anywhere to go. It was apart from hitting, which was unfortunate.
With that result then, first of all, it was a great result for you coming up through the field as well. It was a great fight up until that point. It does mean that you are going to win the Pro Championship here going into the final race, because you've got the points in hand for you, and Adam will not be attending the third race of the day, which means it will be a championship for you. Not the way that you probably would have been hoping to take it, but the season has gone up and down for you, so I'd say that it swings and roundabouts at the end. So a championship is a championship.
Yeah, like you said, championship's championship. It's been a great season. Obviously, it's not how I wanted to end, because it's been so close all year between me, Delmont, Sharp, and Mikey. But it would have been nice to have that massive championship fight going into the final race. But I'm not complaining if I'm the one on top going into the last race.
Well, well done on the championship at least. The final race then, you've been able to show that you've been able to move from 14th on the grid up into that top 5. You'll be starting the final race outside the top 20. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, well, it should be good fun. See how high I can get up to, and yeah, just see what happens.
All right, good luck for the third race of the day, Isaac, and we'll pull you back in once more for that confirmation of championship at the end.
Thank you.
Isaac Doble there, coming home, finishing 4th in that one, and a driver who we are going to come and pull into the broadcasting booth here. We didn't get a word with him at the end of race number 1, but Alan, it's been a championship for you that has gone your way more often than not. You were heading into this evening with a great haul of points, and after the first race, you confirmed yourself as the Pro-Am champion.
One of those ones I just kind of try to work hard at and try to do my best most of the time, and it seemed to have worked out this time.
It certainly did. I mean, you took it in fantastic style as well in race 1. You took home the win. It was, it's not often you found yourself to the very front of the Pro-Am field, but your consistency has been there. So 4th time of asking for the win for you, and yeah, it's taken that championship. So congratulations on that one. As it means you've been able to relax in the other races and just have some fun.
Well, I had a bit of a misfortune in that last race. I missed my iRacing UI reset, and I couldn't find the the race, so I actually missed that race.
Yeah, I saw you down a driver in that one, but I'm sure you've had a similar experience in the past. Well, we've had that from a few drivers. They've missed race number 2, but it does mean race number 3 here. You'll be starting from the very back, of course. But how confident do you feel you'll be able to make your way through up the order and show why you are the champion in that Pro-Am field?
Well, put it this way, I will give it my best to see
Wow.
how far I can get.
Can't wait to see how far you are able to get up, Alan. And well done on the championship, and good luck with the final race.
Thank you very much.
There we go, Alan McCain there. Not racing in the second race, but did win that first race, winning the Pro-Am Championship. We will be back in a short moment's time as we prepare for the final race of the day, the longest race of the day, of course, at which point we will get a touch in with the championship points as well, as we head into the final race of the season. So don't go anywhere, because yes, the championships have been wrapped up, but that does not mean the on-track battles are going to ease up in any way. We'll be back in a short moment's time, so don't go anywhere. In typical Jamie Dory fashion, we needed it a second point this season. There is an issue with the server, so we will be going a little bit longer on our break here before we will return. So please don't go anywhere. We will be back very, very shortly. We are back here for the final race of the day. Race number 3 around the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and what will be the final race of the season and the year here at Next Gen Racing. The grid has been sorted, and we are preparing ourselves for one final time of racing action here. So let's have a look at how the championship standings look coming out of the second race, with Adam Delmont down and out at the final hurdle. Isaac Doble sits with 331 points to his name at the top of that championship, which means that if Adam Delmont does not return back onto the iRacing service, which I don't think he has not, it means that Isaac Doble will be our pro champion here. Just one more race left to confirm that for him, but it should be a nice, easy drive at the end of this to win the Pro Championship. Not the way that anyone wanted the championship to end, but Isaac Doble will be loving the fact that he will take that championship. Kieran Sharp could even potentially find himself inside the... to get past Adam Delmont here and find his way into second place in this championship. And as the Pro-Am Championship standings continue as well, Alan McCain is doing a great job to just continue his lead up at the top. But Matthew Cheverton is doing brilliant to also move through here into second. And Adrian Fritsch could potentially take third away from Phil McDougall, who is not racing here tonight. So it could potentially be a third place in the championship for Adrian Fritsch. At the end of this one, Alan McCain has only been down on one track. On one race tonight. That was race number 1, unable to make it for race 2, but he is back for race number 3, and we can put the blame on him as to why we weren't able to get the server up in time. Is because he was not in the grid order for this final race, of course, because he was not in race number 2. However, we are preparing ourselves once again for another race around the Canadian Tire Motorsport circuit, and it is going to be a very fun one. About 25 minutes of racing action here, longer than the previous 2 races, almost double the length of the previous 2 races, in fact. So we will be looking, potentially doing mathematics in my head very terribly, at about, I'm going to say 17 laps. Now, let's see how close I am. Do you want to go higher or lower? Let me know in chat whether you think that I'm correct or incorrect in this one. 17 laps of racing action coming your way, I predict, in what will be about 25 minutes of racing action. This is, as I say, the final race of the day. We've gone through the first 2 with no safety car. Will we see the same here in the third and final race of the day? Well, there is always the possibility of a safety car free weekend. However, race number 3 has always been an issue point throughout the season. It's where we nearly always see a safety car come out because we have our fast drivers all the way at the back of the field trying to find their way through. We've got about 1 more minute left until we get going here, but it has been a great evening of racing around the MoSport circuit in Canada. It's absolutely fantastic track though. It's created some really great racing, but turn number 5 has been a sticking point all evening long. Delmont involved in an incident with Mikey Doble there in race 1, involved in an incident with Isaac Doble there in race 2. Will we see anything further happen at turn number 5? Of course, turn number 5 is actually 5A, 5B, and then 5C on the exit as well. So turn number 5 is actually a combination of 3 corners because Canadians apparently don't know how to number things. But to be fair, I go back to Red Bull Ring and think that they had that little kink as turn number 2 which I don't know how that's turn number 2, and yet the kink up towards turn number 4 is not classified as a turn. Anyway, I'm not the one who numbers circuits. I feel like I should, but there we go. Good evening, though, racing for Adrian Fitch. He's taking his first win of the season in the 23rd race of the season, which is fantastic. We're still getting first-time class winners at that point. Adam Wilson, we're taking his first on-track victory in race number 2 as well. He, obviously his second race victory in total because he was promoted to the race winner back at Zandvoort race number 3, but on track it's the first time he has visited pit lane. We are going to prepare ourselves for the grid here in the final race of the day. Let's get ourselves having a look at how the grid is going to line up. This is not an inverted grid. This is not an inverted grid. Adam Wilson-Weir is out on pole on a not an inverted grid here, ahead of Gavin Gardner. Now, what is going to happen here? I'm seeing drivers still come down onto the racing track, so I think we are going with it with a non-inverted grid here, which means race 2 race winner will be starting from the front. Gavin Gardner from second. Am I seeing cars disappearing off of that grid now? No, I'm seeing more cars appear, which is great news for us. Jamie Dory will start from third ahead of Isaac Doble. Mikey Doble will start from fifth ahead of Kieran Sharp. 7th position will go the way of Craig Twardock. Adrian Fritsch will start in 8th ahead of Harry Gaylor. Andrew Pike will be in 10th position for this one ahead of Matthew Cheverton. Lee Horn will be starting in 12th position. 13th will go the way of Nick Clibbins ahead of Matt Gatter. William Kirtler will start in 15th ahead of Nigel Stock. Carl Thompson will start in 17th. Mark Hughes in 18th position. Sam Smith will be starting in 19th ahead of Michael Clough. Zara McGuinness will be starting 21st ahead of Andy Outhouse. Ben Oucher in 23rd. And at the very back of the field will be Alan McCain, Pro-Am champion, but was not able to take part in race number 2 due to some iRacing issues. Drivers there down on the grid and preparing to get this one underway for what will be the third and final time of the evening. It'll be the 24th time of the season. And a little bit of a mix-up here in the final race of the season. We are not going to see the inverted grid. Drivers will be starting in the order that they finished race number 2. As we prepare to give this one a go then, it is Adam Wilson-Weir from pole position ahead of Gavin Gardner. I predicted 17 laps. Well, guess what? My prediction was spot on. 17 laps of asking await us around the Canadian Tire Motorsport circuit, known, of course, around the world as MoSport. Adam Wilson-Weir, can he take 2 wins here tonight? And that would be a great achievement to do, because double wins has only happened twice this season. It was by Adam Delmont at Aragon, round 1 and round 3, and by Mikey Doble at Red Bull Ring, round 1 and round 3. Adam Wilson-Weir could take round 2 and round 3 here. Obviously, the benefit of no inverted grid here, but we prepare for 17 laps of racing action. For the final time this season, we are green and away here at MoSport. Up towards turn number 1, Adam Wilson-Weir leads the way ahead of Gavin Gardner. Jamie Dory in 4th position as they settle themselves at the very front. Behind, not so much. And around, we have a driver into the wall, and we had a driver off the circuit as well. Nigel Stock was the driver who visited off the circuit, and down and out of this one is Sam Smith, who went around at turn number 1. The leading drivers, though, all get them round the first corners without issues. The issues came further behind. Carl Thompson running side by side with William Kirtler here, looking for 15th position as we head up towards turn number 5. Zara McGuinness running around just ahead of Ben Oucher here, who did not have a great race number 2. McGuinness to the inside of Clough there, getting bumped from the rear of Oucher, but we head on to the back straight then, and we are going to jump back up towards the front of this field because it is a train of drivers looking for the lead, and Gavin Gardner now looks for his first win of this season. We spoke to him at the end of race number 2. He was hoping to move up the order, of course, with the invert not happening. It means he was already up the order, and he's moved into the lead of the race. Jamie Dory and Adam Wilson-Weir now side by side. Isaac Doble behind. Doble will be looking to try and take his second win of the evening and win the championship on circuit at the front of the field, but it is side by side between Sharp and Doble, so he is not going to make it easy here, especially with the championship already going Doble's way. It means that everybody is going to be fighting hard because both championships are now confirmed. So the rest of the championship fights are the ones playing out, and Sharp is going to want the points, especially as he can now move past Adam Delmont for second in the championship. Who is that in that lovely design on the front end of the car there? I can't figure out who it is. Howard Gaylor. A new livery for me because Gaylor's not competed too often this season, but I just spotted that livery, and it's a nice one, that full tilt livery there, a new one out there on track. I spotted that a couple of times, but I wasn't sure who it was, but it is Harry Gaylor running around there. 9th overall, second in class right now. That's where he finished, obviously, race number 1. Looking to try and potentially take the win here in the next one. It was issues for Fritsch off of the line. He's fallen down significantly from the start. Cheverton has moved to the front of the Pro-Am field. This is Thompson Kirtner chasing down Matt Gatter as Isaac Doble gets past Adam Wilson-Weir for third. Wilson-Weir, though, looking to try and get the speed into the final corner. The headlights flash on there as we come across the timing line. Here comes Kieran Sharp to get past Adam Wilson-Weir. Gavin Gardner leads Jamie Dory. Dory taking his first win last week. Can he go for his second, or is Gavin Gardner going to be able to take his first? Isaac Doble's up in third right now, and Mikey Doble's in that fight as well in sixth. Craig Twaddock going up his inside though, so it's down to 7th for Doble and up to 6th for Twaddock right now, as we've got 15 laps more to go as we look at Twaddock potentially going to the inside of Wilson-Weir. Doesn't turn to anything there as Gardner runs extremely wide to turn number 3. It is side by side for the teammates, Jamie Dory and Gavin Gardner, and Jamie Dory moves into the lead here as Kieran Sharp looks to the outside of Isaac Doble in through turn 5. It's a slightly wider line there from Sharp to avoid contact. Wilson-Weir looking to try and get speed on the exit, but under attack here from Craig Twaddock as they run side by side behind the trees. Great camera angle as always. Mikey Doble now pushing Twaddock on that left-hand side, looking to try and get past Adam Wilson-Weir as well. This train of drivers goes down to 12th position as out at front, Isaac Doble's gone to the outside of Gavin Gardner, looking for second in this race in his hunt for what would be his 5th win of the season to match the amount of wins taken by Adam Delmont. Through the final turn they go, and across the timing line, Jamie Dory leads the way here as they go on to lap number 4, but Isaac Doble will be pushing to try and take the win in this race. Ben Oucher is purple and the fastest man out there right now. Alan McCain is in 7th in class, Pro-Am champion. He is running around to cross the line as champion. He'll just be wanting to get to the end, I'm sure. Isaac Doble here following behind Jamie Dory, still looking for potentially a different racing line to move for that lead, but what he has done is opened the door for Gavin Gardner. Gavin Gardner now a little bit slow, and to the inside goes Kieran Sharp. Sharp moves through for third, and Gavin Gardner, what could have been an overtaking attempt for second position, moves himself down to 4th position now behind Kieran Sharp, but he is pushing on hard, looking like he might try and make this move back through. as we head up towards turn number 8. Is Gardner going to pull out from behind Sharp? Yes, he is. Doble pulls out on Dory as well. Oh, and that's Twadok to the inside of Gardner, appearing on our right-hand side there. And Gardner, once again, looking for an overtake, ends up being overtaken. And here comes Mikey Doble behind as well to gain a position in this fight, as Adam Wilson-Weir has fallen down to 7th as it stands. Another chain of drivers behind, but Harry Gaylor has found his way past Matthew Cheverton for the lead in the Pro-Am fight. Cheverton back to the inside though, and will regain the lead in the Pro-Ams, but it will switch back across once more to the way of Harry Gaylor. Cheverton has won 4 times in class this season. Gaylor yet to take a class victory, has not been here all season, of course, coming in very recently into the championship compared to others. Up towards the end of the opening sector and into turn number 5. It's the inside line for Gaylor, and that is Wilson-Weir heavily over the curbing of 5B as around goes William Kirtler. Contact with Carl Thompson in the background, and once again turn 5 being the corner where it all happens and it all unfolds. Kieran Sharp and Isaac Doble have both made their way past Jamie Dory, which means that Isaac Doble now leads the race and could take a matching 5th win of the season, along with the championship here, up to the final turn. It's side by side between Mikey Doble and Jamie Dory. These two were championship contenders. They were rivals in that championship for so long. And it has gone the way of Mikey Doble in the championship. Will it go the same way out there on circuit in their current fight for 4th position? Jamie Dory holds on to 4th ahead of Mikey Doble. We head up now towards turn number 3, looking to the outside for Doble. Will sit behind, looking potentially for the speed on the exit, especially as we head up towards turn number 5. Meatballs for Andy Outhouse and Carl Thompson. Looks like they are going to be following Sam Smith down and out of this race at the early stages. Through turn number 5, a lot of curbing from your leaders there. Can Doble do anything on Dory now as they exit turn number 5 and head up towards the 8th turn on the circuit? Ben Archer still getting that purple lap as it stands, pulling behind Alan McCain as we're coming up to 6 laps down and 11 more to go here. Carl Thompson sorts out his meatball flag. Will we see him back out on circuit? I certainly hope so, as Hughes and McGuinness swap around, and it looks like McGuinness has just had an issue in this race. What has happened to her? It looks like we've actually completely lost her out of this one, which is a shame. As we go back up now towards the front fight, and Andrew Pike listens to me on the commentary, obviously, thinking, actually, no, do you know what? That purple bonus lap point sounds very nice indeed. I'll have that. And he takes it in 6th position. Pike did not start the evening the way that he wanted to. Race number 1, he jumped the start, got a black flag. He then got a meatball later in the race. That's to the inside is Mikey Doble. But Pike is looking for the speed on the exit here to carry around for that position as they're running side by side with Jamie Dory. It is going to be Pike on the inside of Dory up through turn number 5, and Andrew Pike moves into a top 5 spot here. Could take 4th as Craig Twardock's off the circuit. The teammates are side by side. They come together. Jamie Dory swings to the right-hand side of the circuit, getting pushed now by his teammate Gavin Gardner, and Dory and Gardner looking to get past Pike and Twardock, who were just sitting ducks on the exit of turn number 5 there after Twardock ran off the circuit. Kieran Sharp, is he going to look for the lead here? Pushing very hard on Isaac Doble, stays behind for now. Gavin Gardner is to the inside of Andrew Pike. Pike's going to be able to hold it as it switches back into turn number 9 and up towards turn number 10. Gardner's going to have the inside line. Is he going to be able to confirm it on the exit? No, he is not. Pike has got that speed there, looking for a top 5, and Twadok goes to the inside, and it's 3 wide. There's contact between Pike and Gardner. Somehow they all come out of that without incident, and Pike comes out in 5th, ahead of Gardner, ahead of Twadok, side by side behind between Lee Horn and Matthew Cheverton. That's great news for Harry Gaylor, who is wanting to take his first class win. Cheverton, though, holds the inside of Lee Horn here, and now returning fire on the attack on Harry Gaylor. Pushing behind is Clibbins, pushing Wilson Weir up towards turn number 5. Cheverton goes to the inside, and huge contact for the leaders of the Pro-Am field. Harry Gaylor comes out of it on top. Matthew Cheverton loses a huge amount of time with that one. Let's have another look at that. Cheverton goes to the inside really, really late. Huge amounts of contact there. Goes around at the end of it. Unfortunately for Gaylor, does not lose a significant amount of time, and Cheverton does not lose the class position either. He holds on to 2nd. Gaylor will now lead the class by 4 seconds, which means he should be able to take his first class win of the season. Jamie Dory, Mikey Doble, side by side across the timing line and up towards turn number 1. It's to the inside for Jamie Dory, and he holds on now to 3rd position, but Mikey Doble is looking aggressive behind. Different racing lines as they head through turn number 2. They disappear once more behind the tree lines, and as they reappear, coming through turn number 3, it is going to be an attack from Andrew Pike, looking to gain even more positions up the inside of Mikey Doble. It's now side by side between Pike and Doble up towards turn 5. Pike on the outside. If he can hold it, he'll switch back to the inside. He does hold it on that inside line, and Andrew Pike moves into 4th position on the race, looking for a podium. Pike took his first win of the season last time out at Buxton. He has shown speed here as he's been up near towards the front during race number 2. He was able to recover quite nicely, but race 1 obviously didn't go his way with the penalty off the line and the meatball flag. But Mikey Doble looking to regain 4th position now as they head into turn at number 8. That outside line carrying the speed as we swap across once more for turn 9 and up now towards the final turn on the circuit. And it is going to go the way of Pike for now, but Doble has tried to switch back on that exit, tried to find the speed. We're going to ride on board with Gavin Gardner, who is at the rear of this train of drivers now, as Gaylor's made his way past Lorne Horn there, as a big slide there for Gardner, and that was Twadok diving up the inside of Mikey Doble. Doble let him have it. He's got the speed on the exit. Doble and Sharp still running very close at the front. I think Sharp's waiting until the very end of this race to go for that lead. Still side by side between Mikey Doble and Craig Twadok here as they head down the hill through turn number 4 up to 5. Twadok's not going to be able to get the inside. Doble holds that inside line there. This is a great view to watch this fight going on. Riding on board with Gardner here, who sits in 7th. You can see that fight up to 4th. Pike with the purple lap right now, 1.4 seconds off of Jamie Dory as we come towards the end of the lap. Again, Sharp all over the rear end of Isaac Doble, not going to be able to make it. Twadok looks to the inside of Mikey Doble. Doble to the outside, trying to carry that speed. Twadok doing a great job carrying the speed on the inside here. We swap across for turn number 9. If Twadok can just keep the overlap here, not running out too wide. There's a slight nudge, but he got the speed, and Gardner's back into it now and to the outside. Gardner moves past Twadok up towards turn number 1. Twadok's going to have the inside once more, regains that position. Doble not able to make the move on Andrew Pike as it stands, but all of these different racing lines continuing as we head around here in this fight for what is 4th position, being led by Andrew Pike. Twarok again looking to the inside for a moment on Mikey Doble. Wasn't quite close enough to pull that off, and he might have just opened the door to Gavin Gardner on the exit of 3. Gardner's almost got alongside. Not enough though, as they go up in towards 5. It's 6.5 laps to go of the season here. Adam Wilson-Weir moves past Cheverton, gets up in to 10th position once more. And Gardner looking for the speed on the exit, but unfortunately for him, the toe is on the right-hand side of the circuit, benefiting Twarok here and not himself. Up towards turn 8. Is Doble going to go for the move on Andrew Pike? It certainly looks like he is in the fight for 4th position. Andrew Pike side by side with Mikey Doble, and there's contact! And for a second time this evening, Mikey Doble is around. He will get it back straight. It doesn't look like a meatball flag. There, that is major damage though. It doesn't actually look like a meatball flag for Mikey Doble, but it is huge suspension damage. Let's see that one once more. In a fight for 4th position, Andrew Pike and Mikey Doble. Hopefully the trees disappear as we get up towards turn number 8. Here we go. What's happened? I think Doble might have actually just tried to cut that in a little bit too much on Pike. I think that's what's happened there. Is in Doble trying to go around the outside. I don't think Pike could have got any closer to the inside. Let's watch that once more. Riding on board here. We'll get rid of that so we can see a bit better. No, it's a slight wobble. But that being said, he's still as tight as he can possibly go. There's not really much else that Pike could have done on that inside. I feel like he was as tight as he could potentially have gone there. But Isaac Doble loses out the lead of this race as Kieran Sharp has made that move past. This is how it happened. It happened up towards turn number 3. Isaac Doble running ahead of Pike. Sorry, running ahead of Sharp. Sharp on that wider line now. Is it potentially a mistake for Doble? Yes! Isaac Doble gets onto the grass and Kieran Sharp has no choice to make that overtake. I think he wanted to stay behind until the end, but Kieran Sharp moves back into the lead of the race here, and he was doing a great job at leading in race number 1 before he was beat out by Isaac Doble. Can he take the win this time after taking pole position? Adam Wilson-Weir currently chasing down Alan McCain. McCain is up to 11th position right now and 3rd in class. Could get 2nd in class in. Now remember, Alan McCain started from the very back of this field after not competing in race number 2. If he's able to recover, it's only 2.7 seconds up to Gayler. If Gayler has an issue, Alan McCain is going to get a podium here unless he falls down the order. But could he potentially even take a race victory in class from last on the grid? It is an interesting prospect as Doble gets back past Sharp. And is that part of the game that Sharp is playing? Of course, it looks like he does want to be behind Doble to the end, because he hasn't been fighting Doble very much. It's a slide on the rear end, so it certainly wasn't giving him that position. There was contact as well, and that has invited Jamie Dory into the fray here. So what could have been a nice easy win for Doble as Sharp, they have now made it an extra fight with Dory being in there as well. Pike, Twardock and Gardner are following behind. They're only 2 seconds back here. They work together and the leading drivers fight. They could potentially find themselves in with an opportunity for the win. 4 laps to go. As Mark Hughes needs to visit pit lane. He's picked up a black flag in this race and will have to come down the pits to serve it. So his race will be done and over as well for cars down and out in this one. Andy Outhouse himself is about a lap off of the race leader as well, 53 seconds off the next driver up, but he's still getting points there. Outhouse sitting in 9th in class, so it's nothing to back out of in this one. He'll be taking all the points that he can possibly get as we run up towards now turn number 8. 3 laps to go at the end of this one as Doble swings to the left, gets back to the right, Sharp to the outside, Dory now to the inside of Sharp. Sharp can't just sit behind Doble like he was before, but he drops behind Dory. Does he want to be at the rear of the train going on to the last lap of asking? Is he going to allow Doble and Dory to fight it out? We come across the timing line to go on to the 15th lap of asking here. 3 more laps to go as we come through turn number 1. Isaac Doble leads the way ahead of Jamie Dory. Kieran Sharp just behind in 3rd. Andrew Pike still the fastest man out there with that purple lap. He's 2 seconds back, being pushed by Craig Twadner. I combined it Twaddock and Gardner's name by Craig Twaddock and Gavin Gardner. It's not by Twadner, as they come through now turn number 3 as we head up towards the ever problematic turn 5. Lots of issues been going on here. It's where we saw Sharp and Doble come together with Sharp wobbling. It's where we've seen a number of incidents that have influenced the championship outcome occur during this evening's event. We come through turn number 5B and Dory slightly wide there, could potentially give an opportunity to Kieran Sharp. If these two fight, it will allow Isaac Doble to pull away at the front of this championship as Sharp is not going to push Dory up towards Doble here. They come up towards turn number 8 with Sharp on the outside, Dory on the inside line. They run side by side and Sharp is going to take second. Dory does not fight hard there. I think he knows that it'll just be allowing Doble to come away as Alan McCain is up to second in class as he's running side by side with Cheverton. Can he hold on to that right now? Yes, he does. Alan McCain from last on the grid, which would have been 13th in class. He's up to second in class, only 2.5 seconds behind. A class win here for Alan McCain. I mean, this is going to be a great result for him nonetheless to secure that championship, but it's been a great race for him. Cheverton, though, does not want him to have it that easily. Looks to the inside. A lot of curbing there from Adam Wilson-Weir. McCain back to the inside of Cheverton in this fight for second in class. Dory and Doble have swapped around as Sharp has moved into the lead of the race as well. This fight is continuing on with Adam Wilson-Weir on the outside up to turn 5. How's this going to play out? It is going to be McCain out front with the possibility to turn in for the corner. Cheverton and Wilson-Weir fighting it out just behind, as it looks like we might see another change in position for the race leaders. Jamie Dory moves around the outside of Kieran Sharp for the lead of the race as Doble wanted to follow through by the looks of it but couldn't do it. This is how the lead originally changed hands with Doble out front. Has he made another mistake into turn 3 like we saw before when we touched the grass? Yes, he's on the grass again, and he loses the rear end this time, which allowed both Sharp and Dory to make the overtake through. But this is the fight for the lead as we go. White flag? 1 minute. What? Has it been that many laps already? Are we already on lap 17? No way. Anyway, so the white flag lap somehow. I don't know how we got there so quickly. But Jamie Dory leads the way over Kieran Sharp ahead of Isaac Doble here as we head up towards turn 5 for the final time. It's all going to be about the run into turn 8. They stay single file through 5. They're all going to be looking for the exit here. Who is going to get the better exit as we head up towards turn 8? Doble goes to the inside, Sharp to the outside of Dory. It's going to be 3 wide as Doble goes onto the grass. It's 3 wide for the lead on the final lap of the race. Isaac Doble, Kieran Sharp, Jamie Dory. Doble leads into turn 8. It's side by side for second behind. But I think Isaac Doble's going to take it. The checkered flag is out. Isaac Doble takes the win. Who will take second across the line? It goes the way of Kieran Sharp. Jamie Dory takes third. Pike takes fourth. Fifth to Gavin Gardner. Harry Gaylor is going to win in class as Cheverton goes around at the end. What happened? Can he get across the line? I think he can. Does he have an engine? I don't think Cheverton had an engine at the end there as he crossed the line. What happened? It's contact from behind from McCain. We're going to have to watch that one again from McCain's POV here. It's side by side. Contact with Cheverton through 9 into 10. And it's just more speed from McCain. He doesn't lift out of it at all, but he takes second. He was champion anyway heading into it. But it goes the way of Isaac Doble here. In the final race of the season, Isaac Doble will win for the 5th time. He was champion heading into this one without Adam Delmont taking the grid for race 3. But it is now confirmed. Isaac Doble, your champion of the Mazda MX5 Cup here at the NXTGEN Racing, as he comes to celebrate. What a season for Isaac Doble. What an evening. What a championship. Isaac Doble is your pro champion. Alan McCain there is your pro-am champion. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Isaac Doble, your pro champion. Alan McCain, your pro-am champion. What a season it has been. What an evening it has been. All the smoke lighting up the field there. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant stuff. It's been amazing racing all season long, and there is no way that anything can get as interesting as these Mazda MX-5s. But we're going to give it a go, because next season, alongside your main TCRs, alongside your GT3s, we're going to see the Ford Legends head out for another season of competition here at NXTGEN Racing. And it is going to be, no doubt, just as interesting as this one. Let's have a look at the results then on the final race of the season. And it was won by Isaac Doble. Taking second was Kieran Sharp. Great job from those drivers. Jamie Dory coming home just behind in third. Andrew Pike taking home fourth, had a Craig Twirock. Gavin Gardner coming home in sixth, ahead of Lee Horn. And winning in the Pro-Ams for the first time this season, Harry Gaylor. Who would have guessed it? Final round of the season, the 23rd and 24th race of the season. And we see 2 new class winners in the Pro-Am field. Absolutely fantastic. On a whole evening of no safety cars as well. Ben Archer came home 9th ahead of Alan McCain, who came from the back of the field to come home in 10th position. Adam Wilson-Weir came home in 11th ahead of Matthew Cheverton. Nigel Stott came home in 13th ahead of Matt Getter. Nick Clibbins in 15th, 16th went the way of Adrian Fritsch. William Kirtler came home in 17th. Had a Mikey Doble with that accident in the end. Michael Clough came home in 19th. A lap down was Andy Outhouse. Mark Hughes was out of the race along with Carl Thompson, Zara McGuinness, and Sam Smith. What a fantastic race. What a last lap fight for that lead as well. And we will get the championship confirmed for you the moment we get it. But we do know that Isaac Doble is your champion here tonight. And absolutely fantastic racing for everyone. And I believe that we are just waiting for final confirmation on those points. But with that being said, let's see if we can then have a word very quickly with our champion in the pro class. We knew it before we went into the final round, but I mean, to take it with a race win, and what a fight that was, Isaac. You are the pro champion.
Yeah, I mean, feels great. A great race in that last one with Jamie and Kieran with such a close race, and as it has been all year round, all season round, it's just been mega out there.
Well, to come home with that win in the last race then, and that final fight, I mean, it was going, well, it could have gone any way, really. The three of you going 3 wide up towards turn number 8. It came home very nicely, but this whole season, I mean, you've come out with it with 5 victories. That's tied for the most. You've been up there at the front throughout the season. It's been a roller coaster of a season for you, but I mean, it's ended in the best way possible, surely. A race win to go with your championship.
Yeah, it's been a great season. Lots of good races, lots of not so good races, and for it to be so tight going into the last round with all the incidents that everyone has had, for it to be really tight was really good, and just the finish on a win just sums it up really. It's a good way to finish.
Well, confirming on that championship for you, winning that championship in the end by 49 points. It was a very, very good end for you here, but I think that we look forward to 2026. Obviously, a lot of championships on the horizon, and I'm almost certain we'll see you in the Legends, the Ford Legends, which are going to be coming up next as the side series, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely be in the Legends along with the TCR series. I believe is going to be running. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely be in the Legends.
Perfect. Well, a great 2025 for you in the real world as well as the virtual world, Isaac. And I think that it's a great way to head into the winter break, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a year of winning for me, which has been probably my best year in racing and sim racing, to be honest. Finding more pace, but gives lots of confidence going into next season and see what we can do.
Definitely, and I'm looking forward to talking to Isaac Doble, another champion out of 2026 as well. So great season for you, and good luck for next year.
Thank you.
Isaac Doble there, coming home as champion and doing a fantastic job at doing so. We will pull across next into the booth. Isaac Doble's brother there. Mikey Doble, it wasn't the last 2 rounds that you were hoping for, but this has been a championship that has, well, I mean, it can go any which way. Anyone has been able to win it, and anyone has. It's been a great year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a brilliant result for our team tonight. Brilliant result for Isaac to get his first championship. So big congratulations to him. He's driven superbly all season and kind of shown his class ahead of the rest of the field. So yeah, no, it's brilliant. Obviously, not the way I wanted to end the season, but nonetheless, still a fun 8 rounds.
You were fighting with Jamie all season long in that fight just outside the top 3. You ended up coming home 6 points behind him. I'm sure that's a bit frustrating, especially with this evening having a couple of the accidents. Just what happened there with in the fight you were going for with Pike at the front?
Well, firstly, I'm glad we don't have to wait too long before the next NXTGEN Racing season gets underway, because I can't have Jamie ahead of me for too long in anything. So yeah, I'll get that out of the way. But yeah, the last race there, I made a small mistake when I was in third through the last corner. I got a bit of a slide on, managed to save it. So I lost the position, and then I just got pounced on by Andrew Pike and Craig Twardock, which just embroiled me into a battle that I didn't really want to be a part of, to be honest. So obviously they were running their race and trying to hold position the best they could, whereas I was just trying to get past them so I could chase down Jamie and try and chase down the leaders as well. So yeah, we just went side by side through the corner at the end of the back straight, and I didn't leave a lot of room, and Pike had a little bit of a moment in a slide which resulted in some contact. So yeah, it wasn't to be, but never mind.
As you say, though, it's not long until the next Gen series. We can get back at Jamie. No doubt you'll be in the touring cars. Will we be seeing you in the Ford Legends for the alternate series that we'll see next year?
Yeah, potentially. As I say, I wasn't even planning on doing this championship, to be honest, until about 10 minutes before the first round at Monza. Isaac kind of twisted my arm and said I was being boring, so here I am. So nothing, all bets are off.
Well, we'll love to see you in it if you're able to, because it has been great to see you up there at the front, mixing it up and making it very interesting for everyone to be watching. So for 2026 then, Mikey, I'll be watching the touring car races, no doubt, in both the real and the virtual world. So good luck for next year.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thanks to Jamie and yourself and everyone for putting on another great series. I'll definitely be pleased to get back into something front-wheel drive. I think maybe is more my forte these days. But yeah, thanks to everyone involved, and I look forward to next year. Have a great Christmas and New Year.
Thank you very much, Mikey. Mikey Doble there, doing an excellent job. And just quickly before we pull anyone else in, the championship standings have been on your screen for a little while now. Isaac Doble confirming as the champion. Kieran Sharp did get past Delmont by 5 points in the end with his result. Jamie Dory moved up to 4th. Craig Twardock took home 6th ahead of Andrew Pike. Nick Clibbins in 8th ahead of Adam Wilson-Weir, and Ben Oucher took home 10th in that one. Let us jump around then, and we will see if we can find some more drivers to talk to, because everyone is jumping in and talking to us tonight. The next driver will be across here, Jamie Dory. He finished 3rd in that one. It was almost a second win of the season. You've been close up there all season long, but you finally took the championship result ahead of Mikey in the last round of asking.
Well, yeah, that's my main battle. You know, mine and Mikey's history in sim racing and that, we get on so well. Outside of it, it's a little interim rivalry. So to be the first off the podium, I'll take that after the last couple of rounds of incidents.
And that final race then, the final lap in particular, I don't think you could have played it any better to finish this season off. It was 3 wide up towards those final turns.
Yeah, I knew being in the lead, I was in a bit of a predicament. And it's one of those that, you know, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would much rather have been further back. But you've got to take your chances when they come, and there was a chance, so I thought I may have been able to. I was hoping they were going to squabble and I could have blocked one, as I tried to do with Isaac, but as soon as I went 3 wide, I've got to give him the racing room, and he snuck through on the inside, and it just slowed us down through the final section to not be able to quite get Kieran. But you know, that's what these cars are about: close racing, exciting racing, and bumper-to-bumper stuff with temps going across the line.
As you say, it's been an up and down season, this one, as we end 2025. Looking forward to 2026 then. We've obviously got the touring cars coming back. We've got the legends coming our way as well. Do you feel like you're going to be able to be up at the front again, fighting it out for some championships?
Yeah, well, I hope so. Obviously, the touring cars is a bit of a staple, but we've got the legends returning that at the end of last season were mega. Obviously, yourself commentating on them, You know, this it's your first season commentating with us, and I think from all of us at Next Gen and everyone who watches it, you know, you've done a mega job watching you into this season, and you know, you're an asset to have, and we love working with you. So we look forward to more exciting racing, and the excitement in your voice is what's coming the MX5. So, you know, we've got a lot to look forward to in the new year. Always continuing to grow. You know, grids aren't massive, but who needs massive, giant grids when you've got racing as close as this? Sometimes quality over quantity prevails.
Certainly, the quality of tonight's racing has given us ups and downs, as it has all season long as well. And as I say, the next MX5 league that will be heading our way in the future as well, I'm sure will be just as close as always. So will the touring cars and the legends returning as well. 2026 is going to be a fantastic season of racing. GT3s, let's not forget to mention those as well. So a
100%.
brilliant set of races coming up ahead of us.
Yeah, exactly. You know that we've always got things rolling. We've always got things working in the background, and you know, every year. I mean, this is our 17th, going on 18th year as a sim group, Next Gen. So we know how to run things, so to speak, and we know how to try and get the best out of what iRacing gives us. So yeah, let's roll on 26, shall we say?
Thank you so much for talking to us, Jamie, and yeah, good luck with next season as it comes around as well.
No worries, thanks, Joseph.
Jamie Doy there, coming home that final race of the day in third, and it is going to be the man of the hour in the Pro-Am Championship. I don't know how you managed to do it, Alan. You came from all the way at the back of the field, and you came home to take second in class, 10th overall in that race. Before we talk about the season, let's talk about that race in particular. How on earth did you manage it?
Just put my head down and went for it. To be truthful, I got damage early in the race, so I had like no speed, and then a lot of accidents happened and started to catch people, and I just tagged on at the back of Ben Altrea, and he towed me there. Just followed him.
Well, we spoke at the end of race 2 that you weren't able to, of course. Said, what are you thinking about race C? So you'd be hoping to make up as many positions as you could. You certainly did that. You found almost every single position that you could, and it just showed the speed that you had all season long as well. Of course, 4 class wins this season and a dominant championship result by the end of it. You took almost 100 points over the next driver. I think it was a total of 83 points. That's an astonishing championship lead.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, to be quite honest.
It generally has been a really good season for you. I mean, the consistent results as well. You look at the amount of points you were scoring each week, and the lowest amount of points you scored was all the way back at Zandvoort, round 20. But most weeks you were scoring almost 50 points every single time you went out there. So the consistency, that's what really you were showing this season, and you've had a really good season with that.
Yeah, the consistency has improved quite a bit. For the one reason of being, I wouldn't practice as often as I should, but I've been practicing more than I was, which has helped. Plus, this season, I've had no hardware failures, which was my biggest problem. I have hardware glitches in the last few seasons, so that's in a lot of the other leagues, and that's what's put me away down the table then. But for now, everything's hunky-dory. I'm happy. I will go and celebrate this.
Well, I'm going to let you go off and celebrate. Before I do, 2026 round the corner. Lots of leagues, obviously, on the horizon. I'll be back for the Legends next season. Will we see you taking part in that fun series between the touring cars?
Yeah, quite possibly, yeah.
Well, it was lovely to see you there, because you have been an absolute amazing driver to have out there, creating great racing for us on the broadcasts.
Thank you.
All right, I'll let you go off and celebrate a championship win. Adam McCain there, coming home, the Pro-Am champion. Like I said, almost 100 points clear at the end of that one. And let's pull into the commentary booth now. Andrew Pike, I mean, a season that I thought wasn't going to go your way. You took a win last week at Thruxton, and then somehow it turned on your head a little bit at the start of this evening, because you ended up going to, a jump start, I think it was, off the first race, and it didn't quite go your way. How was it for you?
Yeah, that was terrible. I absolutely suck in these things, generally speaking. I jumped the start because I don't know what changed on my screen, but something caught my eye, and I dropped the clutch too early. It's my own fault, but I never go that well in the Mazda. I'm a front wheel drive merchant. Anyone that watches the touring car stuff on here will see that I'm far better in those than these. So it was nice picking my way back through in the second and the third ones, but I didn't exactly cover myself in glory at the start of race one. But I mean, I was mostly there in qualifying to tow Sharpie around and try and get him to the front of the grid, which worked. Me and Craig pulled that out the bag for him, got him a good lap, and then I started a long way back as a result. But yeah, the jump start wasn't fantastic, was it?
Well, I mean, to be fair though, coming out of this one, the points that you did get were along your average that you've been picking up throughout the season. We saw though, at the beginning of the season really didn't go your way. You know, Monza didn't go brilliantly, Brands Hatch didn't go brilliantly. You found yourself up the order though as the races went on, and like I said last week, picking up your first win of the season. So you found your pace in the Mazdas as the season goes on. You say you're more of a front wheel drive person. However, we do have the Ford Legends coming out next year for the next season of competition. Will we see you in those alongside the touring cars?
Yeah, you will do. I did the last couple of seasons of Legends. I tend to fare a little bit better in those than the Mazda. A little bit harder to drive, which helps me a little bit. Other people can struggle in places. So yeah, I'll take part in those. They're great fun. But the touring cars is the main event for me for sure. But yeah, you can expect to see me in the Legends, definitely.
Wow, good result for you in the end, I would say overall. 7th in the championship. You were, you were hovering there. You've gained a lot of points over a number of drivers around you. So you found yourself into that top 10 by the end of it. I think that's something. And as you say, I think it's good, especially if you're a front wheel drive driver as well. So with 2026 around the corner, I wish you the best of luck. And I'll be watching the touring cars and I'll be cheering on everyone, of course. So good luck next season.
Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. All the best.
Andrew Pike there, coming home at the end of the final race in 4th position. Somehow, some way, finding a little bit of time in that one because, and the reason I say somehow, some way, end of first race, he was all the way at the back. I mean, it was a jump start into a meatball flag and found his way up the order somehow at the end of all of that one. We've been sat here so long on the server that we're having issues with iRacing getting pictures over your way because the server closed ages and ages and ages ago. Let's see who else is around that we haven't had a chance to talk to, and that would be Adam Wilson-Weir, of course. And let's just flash back to race number 2, Adam, because for the first time this season, you crossed the line as a race winner. It is officially your second win, but it was a great, great race. You flew straight into the lead with that reverse grid from the race 1 results, and you took what was a very dominant race win in the end.
Yeah, initially I had a fantastic launch. I think the car on the left bogged down a bit, and then I think it just had better reactions with the guy in front. So turn 1 was pretty easy to get past in the second, and then I think P1 had an overshoot on turn 2, so I was able to get in the inside, and that pretty much sealed the deal. So yeah, happy with that.
Well, with that being said as well, Adam, then in that championship fight, you came home in the end in 9th position. You managed to hold into a top 10 in the championship. Were you hoping for a little bit more this season?
I mean, it's Mazdas, you can't really predict because, I usually run T3s, so it's a bit different. Racing guys have never raced before, so it's still you're still trying to suss everyone out, you know. Even if it is at the end of the season, you know, we're still a lot of guys have different tactics and stuff. So yeah, it's an experience for sure.
Well, with that being said then, how are you feeling going up towards 2026? We've obviously got the touring cars coming back, and we have got the Ford Legends making their return as well. Will we see you in those?
You'll definitely see me in TCR. It's going to be a first for me as well. So it's going to be interesting driving a front wheel drive. So yeah, exciting times.
Well, very different type of car to be driving. Those front wheel drives can catch people off. So I wish you the best of luck with that season and everything that you'll be doing in 2026 as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, and it was great to have you commentating for NXTGEN. You've done a fantastic job, and good to see you back.
Thank you so much. I'm so obviously genuinely so glad to be back next season for the Legends as well. But well done on your results, and hopefully we will speak to you in the future as well if we get together on some events.
100%. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, Adam. Thank you so much there. Coming home at the end of that final race in 11th position, but did win the second race in that one. And as we go through, I think we've spoken to almost everyone, just a couple more drivers to catch through in this one. And Michael, what a season you have had. We've spoken to you a couple of times across the championship. Primarily, obviously, we spoke to you quite a bit back at Aragon, but you managed to come home 5th in the Pro-Am Championship. Not the best of nights tonight, but you have had some really good results through this season.
Yeah, it's been a really enjoyable season, and I think if I'd have been able to get some more practice in and done a better job of tonight, maybe there could have been like a top 3 on the cards, but it wasn't to be. But it's all right. There's always next season.
Certainly, always next season. And talking about the next things that are coming up, 2026, of course, we'll have the touring cars back. We'll be seeing the return of the Legends. We'll be seeing you out on track for those.
Touring cars, yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm not too sure about the Legends. Yeah, I don't know if I'd better commit to both, but yeah, you'll certainly see me back.
Well, that'd be great. Glad to see you back on track for NXTGEN next season, though, and it'll be nice to see the what could be potentially, as you said, not the best of results on all of the weeks this season, and it just means that you can step up your game for the next one, see what you can to do with it, and hopefully we'll be talking to you as potentially in a top 5 in a championship and maybe that top 3, the elusive champion as well. So 2026, let's see if it can go your way.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I'll try not to miss any rounds. I think that's probably that probably put a bit of a dent in my charge, missing the first round. But I'm really pleased to just get back to where I did, considering just keep on keeping on and just getting faster.
Definitely. As you keep on getting down onto the track, you'll always find that speed. So good luck for 2026 and everything that you do. And hopefully you'll find yourself closer to that fun with every season that you do.
Thanks, Joe. Cheers for everything for this season as well. It's been fantastic watching you back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael, there, coming home in that final race. 19th overall, 8th in class. And the man that we will catch on the end, he was getting involved in a number of those fights. He was really getting himself involved in a couple of the fights towards the front in that one. Lee Horn, you were a man that was getting yourself properly involved in the end. And for someone who was outside the top 10 in the championship, you knew how to make it interesting at the front.
Oh yeah, I'm a wily old cat these days. I've been sim racing for so long now. At 51 years old and sim racing from about 20. I don't know. So yeah, a long time. Yeah, enjoyed that a lot. I decided I was going to be as involved as I could. I was trying to make the top 10. Unfortunately, that was a little bit of a stretch with some of my not so high scoring rounds in the early stages of the season or throughout the season. So yeah, I was willing to get stuck in there in a respectful way, but to have some fun, and I sure did. That was great.
It was great. And you say that it was a bit of a stretch. You came only 5 points short of a top 10 in the end. You're only a point behind 11th. So you certainly did have a strong weekend. It was the second strongest weekend of the season here, but as you say, it's been a bit of an up and down season as we've gone on. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. So how are you feeling about 2026? You know, you've got lots of championships on the horizon.
Yeah, no, I love sim racing. It's a break away from the everyday life. I've never been able to afford real motorsport, so I watch that and do this. This is the closest thing you can get you to it. So, yeah, 2026. We've got Legends coming up soon, which is another fun, not as serious as the touring cars, but I still sort of want to always be competitive. So there's an element of seriousness about any league, of course. But yeah, the Legends coming up soon, and then this not long after, towards the end of January, we've got the NXTCC starting again, which I've been in every season so far with NextGen, and started in the lower ranks, not very good, and have managed to sort of bring myself up to around the top 10 area across the seasons. And so yeah, very much looking forward to getting stuck into that again in the new year.
Definitely is. Every time you get on the track, as you say, you start down, you might not be the fastest, but you can move your way up that order. So 2026, you got the touring cars, you got the Legends, as you say. It is going to be a fantastic year once more at NextGen. So good luck for your 2026 campaign.
Thank you very much, Joe, and thanks very much for your broadcast as well. It's been very entertaining, nice to watch back, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you doing some more for us soon.
Thank you very much, Lee. Right, that was everyone that got out into the interview waiting room to have a word with us. It has been a fantastic season of competition. I mean, as they kept on coming up on there, it was my first time broadcasting for NextGen that we've come here for the Mazda Cup, and it has been absolutely fantastic to step into the commentary booth and bring all of the amazing broadcasts your direction. And I'm so privileged to have been here and covered such an amazing event. Well done to our two champions, of course, Pro-Am champion Alan McCain, Pro champion Isaac Doble, and I look forward to 2026. We talked about a couple of championships coming your way. Very early doors into 2026. We'll see the return of the NXTCC. We'll see the return of the Ford Legends. Not long after, we'll see the GT3s back again. Talking about the Mazdas coming back towards the back end of next year as well, just like this one. So it is going to be a fantastic year once again at NextGen. So even though this is the final broadcast of the year, the final event of the year, it is not done and dusted. So if you're over on that Facebook page, hit the follow button, hit the like on the stream and share it with your friends, your family, get them involved in watching these broadcasts. If you're over on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, make sure you're notified when NextGen go live for all of the different leagues that are broadcast over there. Hit the like button on this stream too to show how much you are supporting the Mazdas and you want to see them return next year. If you're watching over on the Twitch page, well, hit that follow button. There's lots that go live over there throughout every single week, at least 4 or 5 streams a week. So make sure you're hitting the follow button there so you're notified when we go live for Beehive Build Broadcasting. But this is it here at NextGen Racing for the year. I'm gutted that it's over. I mean, I'm so glad that the championships come to a conclusion. We've had such a thrilling end, but I'm so gutted it's over as well. So I am just waiting, looking forward towards 2026. I'm looking at the wall calendar of all the events that are coming up, and I cannot wait. So from here at NextGen Racing, from me at Beehive Build Broadcasting, I hope you have a fantastic holiday and enjoy your celebrations. You enjoy the new year, and we come into 2026 for the NXTCC and the Ford Legends kicking off straight away as soon as the year begins. It is gonna be brilliant. So thank you so much for watching this extended broadcast tonight as we caught up with loads of drivers at the end and we checked out on the championship standings as well throughout. It has been an absolute privilege, as I say, to bring these events to you, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for 2026. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time So from here at Next Gen Racing, from me, Behind Bill Broadcasting, we will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.